I'm Doug Brown. Two-time Olympic gold medalist Brittany Griner is found guilty in a Russian courtroom of drug possession and smuggling and sentenced to 9 years in prison. Griner has been held since her arrest almost 6 months ago. ESPN's TJ Quinn.
It's hardly great news for Brittany Griner. From all accounts, she's absolutely devastated. But what it does is it lets the case move from the legal world to the diplomatic world.
TJ Quinn on Barton Hahn. Negotiations are continuing on a possible prisoner swap between the U.S. and Russia that could include Griner. The NFL preseason kicks off tonight in Canton, Ohio with the Hall of Fame game, the Raiders and the Jaguars. ESPN has learned the Steelers will sign wideout Deontay Johnson to a 2-year contract extension worth almost $37 million. The Phillies cut shortstop Didi Gregorius today, one of a series of roster moves. He was hitting only .210 this year. The Red Sox cut outfielder Jackie Bradley Jr., who was also hitting .210 this season.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Coming to you live from Radio Ranch inside the Ingles Studio. I'm Tank Spencer. Yes, he's Jeremy Greene.
And it's that day.
Oh, it is that day. We have football today. When I woke up this morning, the first thought that went through my mind is, I can't wait to watch 10 seconds of football tonight.
Oh, I'm going to watch way more than that.
I'm sure you will.
I am. I'm going to watch way more than that.
I'll watch about an hour. I'll watch about an hour because the true sporting event of the day happens tonight at 9 o'clock, and that is the next episode of The Captain. I am really digging the Derek Jeter series. Just saying. And if you're a Red Sox fan, this is the one you've been waiting on, folks. Because this is, they left it off with the 2003 ALCS and Aaron Boone. Now we get to see the New York Yankees and all the turmoil that happened when the Red Sox reversed the curse in 2004.
How in the world did you open the start of football with a baseball story? How did you just accomplish that?
Because to me, that's the most interesting thing happening tonight.
Not even kind of.
Yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars, Las Vegas Raiders, we're back on the field for the Hall of Fame thing. It's fine. But
it's fine.
It's fine.
This is the day we've been waiting for.
But honestly, when it comes to putting the time in, most of us are not going to do
I'm putting
that.
the time in. You know what else I'm putting the time in?
What's that?
Oh, the Sportsocracy Fantasy Draft Kit.
Yes.
It's almost done, and it is.
He does this with everything. See, Jeremy is what we like to refer to as an
neurotic.
Well, I was going to be nice and put it as the overachiever. Because he comes up with these ideas of, I'm going to come up with all these formulas that you could just lock in, and they'll give you the projections of every player in the NFL. Awesome. And then he goes 4 levels deeper, and it takes longer than expected. So the Sportsocracy Fantasy Draft Kit will not be available until Monday. Because he's added so many new things.
It's I'm not going to lie. So basically, it's all of my fantasy draft prep done in a way that you can upload your own scoring system.
Mm-hmm.
You could use my projections. You could change them. It's totally up to you. But it's all locked in by mathematical formula. It is quite daunting to look at, if I was being really honest.
It's not. You're going to love it. If you're a fantasy football fan, you are absolutely going to love it. I haven't played with it myself because I don't want to touch it and break it before it's released.
You can't. You can't break it.
I just want to make sure. But yeah, that's going to come out on Monday. we are continuing with our all-football coverage here in the Sportsocracy. We'll have the daily draft coming up at the top of the third hour today. We're going to do the AFC West today. Jeremy and I drafting against each other. Poll is going to go up in the YouTube stream so you all can decide who gets first pick. Whoever won yesterday's draft, we will decide that throughout the first 2 hours of the program, and then we'll have the daily draft. The number one story other than the Hall of Fame game.
I'm not doing it.
Deshaun Watson.
I'm not doing it. You can't make me.
I know you don't want to talk about it, but we have to at least mention it. It's the biggest story going today. It started yesterday evening when news came out that the league will be appealing the Deshaun Watson 6-game suspension that was handed down by the former U.S. District Court Judge Sue L. Robinson. It is the dumbest thing on the planet. Jeremy, you and I both said it when the news, when we talked about the breaking news the other day of finally this should be over. But no, the NFL can't get out of their own way, apparently.
I am committed to not talking about this. But I'm going to go on one little tirade if you'll give me the platitude.
Go. Name's on the door. I can't stop you.
You know, and we've all done this. Social media, you've got friends, all right? And they're a couple. And they can't decide if they want to continue being a couple. So they're in a relationship, they're out of a relationship, they hate each other. Oh, I blocked them, they're the worst. Oh, and you just keep doing this. And it's just a vicious cycle, and nothing ever gets resolved. That's exactly where we're at here. Roger Goodell, this was done. You didn't have to do anything. You were completely absolved of all things. And then what did you do? You caved to the pressure of Twitter. And no one will ever tell me that's not what he did. Because there's no resolution here where this ends the way you want it to. I often say this on this show. The only fair in this world shows up in your town for 2 weeks out of the year with Ferris wheels and clowns. I don't really care how you feel this should have gone. Here's the problem with what you've now done. Now so not only is Roger Goodell appealing this, he has absolved himself again of, we're going to go to a third-party arbiter. You mean like you've already done? You already did that once. You already did it once, and you didn't like what they said, so now we have to do it again.
Right.
So what happens when you don't like what they say? Are we just going to keep spinning on this until somebody tells you what you want?
See, I don't believe that's going to happen because this is what they refer to in government speak or politics speak. They're judge shopping. Roger Goodell already knows who he's going to turn this over to. Someone who is going to be friendly to the league and give them exactly what they want. It's always been said, or it has been said for the last 2 months, that the NFL wants a year suspension, an indefinite suspension that is at least for the year. They're going to find someone who will give that to them.
And so I'm going to take two things that came out of our YouTube comments because I feel like some people are they're hearing what I'm saying, but they're not hearing what I'm saying. Adam Black said, you guys are in the minority with that take. The NFL has to make a statement with 6 games, and that wasn't it. Here's the problem with that. I'm not saying what they should have done. I'm not in any way saying what they should have done. I'm saying what's legal. Because there are times, and you can ask any prosecutor, any defense attorney, I'm friends with several of them. There are times that you have to look at something and go, this ain't going to go the way I want it to because I made a mistake. Mm-hmm. The NFL could have suspended Deshaun Watson a year ago, all gone. Would have all gone away. Here's the problem. His defense team, his lawyers, look at it as they already did.
Yep.
You already did it. And the problem is when you go to justify this in front of a judge, it ain't going to go your way. I hate to break it to you, it's not. If you want him to be banished to the island of misfit toys, that day's not coming. And so now you have put yourself on this perpetual cycle of there is no win here. If you're wanting him to get a year, that's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it will be at the expense of much legal, much gnashing of teeth, and it's not like Deshaun Watson's just going to roll over and let this happen.
No.
He will fight this until his dying day. That is everything I have been told. Mm-hmm. Now, here's where this gets really, really stupid to me. We have long said that this personal conduct policy Roger Goodell was the man, he was the only man, he was the only one that mattered. We have fought against that for years.
Yes.
Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Virtually every person that pays attention to the NFL has hated the fact that this all starts, ends, and the middle is Roger Goodell.
Mm-hmm.
You found a way to get away from that. And you immediately went, nope, don't like what you said, let's find another one.
Mm-hmm.
When exactly are you going to be happy? Like, and I'm not even talking about this one specific case here. I'm saying the NFL does 95% of things right. That's why it is the juggernaut that no one can touch in the sports world.
Mm-hmm.
There is one thing that they cannot get out of their way about, and it's this. It's this right here, because it's too open-ended. See, here's the problem, and this is one of those millennial problems that really irks me. If there are two sides of a story, and you don't get your way, you can fight until you get your way. The problem is that there are people on the other side that feel the exact same way you do. So it's not like you're going to get your way and then they just go, nope, that's fine. I see it your way now. That's not how this is going to go.
No.
So the longer this goes on, the worse it gets, whether it's for Deshaun Watson, whether it's for the league, whoever. When this came out last night, I have a friend in this business that is an attorney. I said, what is the worst case scenario? Because I asked this originally. If you just let it ride, it's 6 games. I can absolve myself. The judge made this happen. It'll go away in about a week. That was their take. Yes, there will be people that are upset for about a week. Then the games will start and it'll slowly slip away.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it should, saying that's how the public works. What's the worst case scenario now? And this is what nobody seems to be thinking about that wants to fight for this year.
To me, the worst case scenario now is it doesn't go away. It lasts for an entire year.
Yep, and here's the problem. If it doesn't go away and this goes legal and Deshaun Watson's the one that's filing the lawsuit, he shouldn't be allowed to be paid or anything or blah, 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 blah. You'll see him week 1 if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Because you're one step away from that. If Roger Goodell comes in here and goes heavy-handed, he's going to sue. And from a lawyer, this is not out of my head. This is somebody that does this for a living. You will never get this in front of a judge before week 1. So you think this is a circus now? Just wait. Just wait till we're going through the legal process and week 1 in Charlotte, North Carolina, right down the street from here, Deshaun Watson trots out on the field. You think it's bad now? Just wait.
If they can get the injunction from the federal court, then yeah, that's exactly what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I keep going back to is players have tried this before. Tom Brady went to federal court to try to get his 4-game suspension for Deflategate overturned.
One huge difference there. He did not have a federal judge that had said it should go this way.
Sure.
Now I have the person that you agreed we were going to allow to arbitrate this.
Mm-hmm.
And you just looked at it and went, I don't like their decision. Nope. Yep. And now, you know what? We'll do it again.
But that's the problem with the CBA.
It's a huge problem with the CBA. It has been forever.
Right. The collective bargaining agreement for the NFL between the NFL and the Players Association, this is the process they agreed to. They wrote it in. It's cooked into the pie of if we don't like the suspension, then after the arbitrator gets a hold of it, then we can go back. Then we can appeal. And the appeal goes to Roger Goodell. And the players agreed, okay, that's how we want it. I think Roger Goodell's doing the right thing here by not taking it on himself.
I don't, because now you're opening this up of you're going to be one-on-one either way. Because Deshaun Watson, if they come back and say it's a year, then Deshaun Watson's camp is going to go, okay, what is the difference between this judge and this judge?
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference? You said if it was not good for the game, you could come in and do it. Well, you bypassed it.
Yep.
No-win situation. You tried to come in. You have listened to the public narrative. And the problem is you're not listening to the legal. I've never said what I want to happen here because nobody cares what I think.
Nope.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. There's a lawsuit coming.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other, there's a lawsuit coming because you didn't just look at the 6 games and go, you know what? At least this way it can be done. And if you don't think that I have a reasonably decent record with lawsuits, in the next segment, take a little victory lap that has nothing to do with Deshaun Watson.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Yep, there will be a lawsuit if the penalty is changed. It's not going to be reduced. And it probably won't be it probably won't be a 6 game, because I feel like I said, he has shopped. He has found an arbitrator that will give him what he wants. Speaking of Roger Goodell, he's going to get somebody who's going to say, okay, I'll give you the year. And then the lawsuits begin. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every mile. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $35.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Want something to smile about? Asheville Smiles is hosting Invisalign Day on August 11th to celebrate National Align Your Teeth Day. Now is the best time to save big and get that smile you've always wanted with Dr. Merrill, a master of the smile makeover. Take advantage of the best price in North Carolina at just $4,500 for Invisalign post-treatment retainers plus a 3D scan to simulate your before and after results. To schedule your consultation, visit AshevilleSmiles.com today.
People who call QC Kinetics are pretty much fed up with joint pain.
It's to the point where it's affecting their quality of life. Maybe they can't pick up their grandchildren anymore, or golf, or play tennis, or walk with their friends.
Dr. Justin Garzone, Medical Director at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving lasting joint pain relief with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery.
The great thing about our therapies, there isn't any downtime. There's no side effects, so patients can get our treatment and continue on with their day-to-day life.
And Dr. Garzone speaks from experience. He had excruciating back pain and got relief at a QC Kinetics clinic.
Over a very short period of time, the pain went away completely, and I've had absolutely no symptoms or pain since my treatment.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
The Sportsocracy.
Gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. Look, the Deshaun Watson thing, everybody's got their own take. Everybody wants to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done until you can figure out. You all come together, and when you have a decision that's the final decision, then we'll talk.
Right. Adam Black in the comments says he's curious the play that the NFLPA makes. Do they take the PR hit or just leave it to Watson? They have to back Watson.
Oh, 100%.
They have to back the player.
And they basically said that behind closed doors forever.
Absolutely.
If you inflate this past 8 games, we're going to step in.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we have a super chat from Satisfied Browns fan. who is back to being angry Browns fan, I guess.
I was about to say, I think there's a change back to angry Browns fan.
He says, if you see a 6'5" man crying when you leave the studio today, it's probably me. Goodell had one job. Love you guys, channel. We appreciate that.
We appreciate you.
We love the fact that you are on our channel.
And I agree. Goodell had one job. You got pushed into a corner because you didn't suspend him last year, which I have now come around. You should have.
Uh-huh.
I was wrong. I will admit it when I'm wrong. You should have done this last year, and none of this would be an issue.
Indeed.
But you didn't, and now it is.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a PR hit for somebody either way, and I think it's a lose-lose situation at this point. But that's just me.
Hey, speaking of lose-lose situations.
There's another lawsuit to talk about. This one in the world of golf. Shockingly enough. When the LIV thing first came up, and we talked about it here in the Sportsocracy, Flostradamus Jeremy Greene did his amazing Karnak act and said there will be a lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
The LIV golfers who get shut out by the PGA will file a lawsuit.
Well,
and here we have it.
Here we are.
A dozen. Or I guess not quite a dozen. It's 11. 11 golfers have filed a lawsuit against the PGA, including Phil Mickelson and Bryson DeChambeau. Taylor Gooch is part of this as well, and there are others. Because they want to compete. They want to compete in the PGA, and they say, look, you can't keep us out of this.
Oh, and there's a fulcrum here. The lawsuit is requesting relief that would allow Taylor Gooch, Hudson Swafford, and Matt Jones to play in the 3 FedEx Cup playoff events, which they earned their way into.
Yes, they did.
By the way. And there's one word. Starts with an A, and it rhymes with Banti-Trust. And that's the word that if you're the PGA, you never wanted to see it. Ever, 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 ever. Because as soon as they challenge your status in this, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lawyer. You can have F. Lee Bailey, Johnny Cochran. I don't care who you have defending you. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because this is the one time, if it's left alone and you don't ruffle feathers and you don't throw the wake in the water, they'll leave you alone.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you're challenged, it is almost impossible to prove that they're wrong.
Oh, absolutely. This is all about trying to crush the competition. And I don't think it's going to go over well in federal court.
It's not. This is going to be a disaster.
Because now the PGA is going to be faced with, okay, now we have to let them compete.
Mm-hmm.
At least for this year. At least for the FedEx Cup playoffs. And then when it comes to next year, who knows how that goes.
Oh, you're not going to keep them out. Yeah, you're not going to keep them out. I hate to break it to you.
Right.
PGA, you overplayed your hand. And I said that from the jump.
It's a very strong case.
I said that from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, in this country, Monopoly is a board game that children play. Any other time, it's a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's been attached to the PGA, and I don't see how you're going to get away from it.
Right.
This could get so unbelievably ugly. So ugly. And I'll be honest with you, there's a part of me that thought, maybe the LIV's losing a little steam. Nope.
You don't think
Just sitting back waiting.
You don't think it's losing any steam?
I don't think they care. I think I have officially come to the point they do not care. This is what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted carnage. They wanted to be treated separate but equal. And that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
It is, okay, we're going to challenge your filing of the best players in the world are not allowed to do both. That's a problem. And I'll use the same example that I used before. If the NFL made a blanket statement that if you played in the XFL, we'd never allow you back into the league, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason they don't do that. Because they don't care.
Right.
When you're strong enough, you have to look at these entities and go, you can do what you want. Spin your tires, spend your money. I don't care. And the PGA couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have found yourself in the one place you didn't want to find yourself, which is in a courtroom.
The PGA hates the fact that they're going to have to share golfers, but you're going to have to, I think. I don't know what other argument the PGA could come up with other than we want to hurt the competition by doing this.
Oh, they don't have an argument. They don't have an argument.
They better come up with an argument because they're going to court.
Because if you trot into a courtroom and you say, well, they're funded by the Saudis, a federal judge, I don't think they can laugh out loud. I think that's a sanctionable offense.
Oh, wait, let me list off all the sponsors that you take money from.
Bingo.
That do business in Saudi Arabia.
If that's what you walk into this with, you will get laughed out of this courtroom.
100%.
This is another one of those times.
That is not an argument that is going to come up. I just want to see what it's going to be. What excuse can the PGA use to say we're protecting us? We have to keep these guys out to protect our brand. Well, how does it protect your brand if you're going to
if you're forcing out the best golfers in the world?
If you're going to excommunicate some of the best golfers in the world from your product, that hurts your product. It does not, the only argument you have is we want to cripple the LIV. We want to make it to where no one can join that.
And what does that fall under? Antitrust law. It's not going to be good.
No.
It's going to be a no good, very bad thing.
I don't feel like there's a lot of hope for the PGA. Coming up after the break, we're going to get into the hope that each and every NFL team has for the upcoming season. Jeremy's calling this the hope scale. I don't know that he's actually cooked up a formula for this or what. Oh, you have?
It's a numeric scale.
Of course he has. Of course he has worked up the all of the ins and outs to determine the hope scale for the upcoming NFL season. We'll also get just a bit outside on the other side.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And most of the rain staying off to our west for tonight. 67 degrees our low. Thunderstorms do catch us in the Friday forecast and for this weekend. And I think our temps will be in the low to mid 80s for late week and through the weekend. Rich humidity in play into next week and splash and dash thunderstorms for the top of next week, also Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here in the Valley. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This Wednesday, August 10th, it's the Ingles Tools for Schools Supply Drive in partnership with Evelyn Charities. Join ESPN Asheville on location at the Ingles on Smoky Park Highway from 7 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. There's 3 ways to donate. Stop by and see us on location, or you can text STUDENT to 345-345 or donate online at eblincharities.org. Let's make sure every student in Western North Carolina has the tools they need for this school year. Wednesday, August 10th, 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., Ingles Tools for Schools.
If you need to get on the right trajectory with your health, there is a program out there for you. It's called PhD Weight Loss. You've heard us talk about this so many times, and it's because the results that you get from this program are fantastic. Jeremy and I have been on the program since Thanksgiving. I have lost over 80 pounds. I feel and act like a different person now because I have shed so much weight.
One of my favorite things that people say to us now on a daily basis is when they see our marketing materials, they say, you need to get new headshots done because you don't in any way look like those people because you've lost so much weight. You look so much healthier, and it's all thanks to the plan, nutrition, and food at PhD Weight Loss.
I have been a big guy ever since I was born, and now that I'm getting ready to turn 40, I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in, and it's all thanks to PhD Weight Loss. Go to myphdweightloss.com, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside. And I love it when NFL teams do things, they do these little community events to ingratiate themselves with their fan bases. And the Raiders are doing something that I've never heard of a team doing this before. We've all heard of teams doing, drives and food drives and things like that. But the Raiders want all of the kids in the Las Vegas area to go back to school looking their best. So they have now teamed up with 5 barbershops, beauty salons in the Las Vegas area where kids from the Clark County School District can go before the school year begins on Monday. They can go and get spruced up before the school year starts. We all know that's important. You want to look your best on the first day of school. First impressions are key. The problem is everybody who goes has to get their hair cut like Mark Davis, and that is a problem.
I can't tell if you made that part up or
I
not.
did. I made that part up.
I was about to say, this went from a very nice story to very sad.
Why? Why do you continue to have an owner who refuses to go get his hair cut? Can we get Mark Davis to show the kids how this needs to be done? Let's make him the sacrificial first customer in this little back-to-school haircuttery drive.
Haircuttery?
I have no idea. I don't know where that came from.
Has it been so long since you've had hair that you couldn't get the word barbershop out?
Well, it's not necessarily barbershop. They've got all kinds of expertise. Cosmetology Institute is doing one of the sites that they can go to.
Well, haircuttery sounds like it should have ham and cheeses on it.
If they had
that's a charcuterie.
I was going to say, if they had ham and cheeses at the barbershop, then I would probably get my hair professionally buzzed off rather than doing it myself.
You could go to a dog groomer and it wouldn't change the result.
I don't want to change the result.
There's more hair on the back of my hand than there is on your head.
There's no doubt about that.
I was originally going to make fun of this story, and the more I've thought about it, the more I actually think it's pretty brilliant. The University of South Carolina is selling home tickets for every game except Georgia at Costco.
Really?
You can for $89. So these were spotted at the West Ashley Costco Wednesday. They asked. Apparently, they're going to do this at Costco's across South Carolina.
Right. West Ashley in Charleston, by the way.
Yes. So you can buy 2 tickets at a time. They're for any home game except Georgia. $90 for 2.
Mm-hmm.
All you can eat.
Really?
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. I was going to make fun of this. And then I read it again and went, I've been to that stadium. First of all, that stadium is intense. Great environment. That's a deal.
It is a deal.
That does not include alcohol, obviously, on campus. But all you can eat food, $45 a ticket. And you get them at Costco. It's a little cardboard thing, and you can scan the code, you pick what game you want to go to, and you just show up.
Oh, I can definitely get my money's worth out of that. What?
It's a great value.
It is a great value. Stop. What? You don't look for a great value when you buy things? You should.
Not really. I look for, hey, what's the coolest thing I can do? There is a price for anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is a good deal. That's a fantastic idea.
Absolutely. Getting football tickets at Costco. I was fully expecting you to say that they were selling them at like Little Crickets.
Little Cricket, dummy. What is a Little Cricket?
It's a convenience store.
Is it?
Yeah.
I lived in the state of South Carolina. I never saw one of those.
What?
I never saw one.
Oh, they're all over the place.
Now, I did see 7-Elevens. 7-Eleven and QT. Mm-hmm. That is two things we need in this here state.
I don't know how the Little Cricket has gotten away for so many years having clearly a Disney knockoff character on their sign.
Is it Jiminy Cricket?
It's Jiminy. Like, there's a little Jiminy Cricket on all the Little Cricket stores, and they're like, yeah, it's fine. Disney hadn't even caught on to that yet.
You have a catchy jingle. It's fine.
All right. Time to get into the NFL Hope Scale.
I have a surprise at the end of this hour, too.
Really?
I'm looking in the comments. Maybe there's some people that are getting a little ahead of the curve, but I got to think. Got to think at the end of the hour.
What is, Jeremy, the NFL Hope Scale?
So the Hope Scale is if you listen to beat writers will tell you practically everything you need to know about your team.
Okay.
And so I went through, there's several different beat writers that I'm friends with. Hey, what's the truth? Don't spin this to me. Where are you really at? And so I have given a numeric grade to every team in the league. Goes 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
1 is completely hopeless. It is a no good, very bad thing. There's not many of those. 5 is hope springs eternal. I'm not telling you this is how good your team is. This is how good the people around your team feel.
Or they're just lying to you at the start of the season to get you interested.
You'd be shocked how little of that there is.
Really?
Because there are several teams that they're like, dude, on that scale, we should be a 2 at best.
Well, I mean, there are certain teams that you would expect. Yeah, you can't have a whole lot of hope for the upcoming season. Chicago Bears come
1
to mind. Absolutely.
They're a 1, and if it wasn't for Justin Fields, they'd be a -4.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, as I have been putting together the 2022 Sportsocracy Fantasy Draft Kit, God, I can't wait for you people to see this. I am so excited about this.
But then you have other teams like the LA Rams who are trying to go back-to-back Super Bowls. That's got to be a 5, right?
They're 4.
They're 4.
They're 4.
Okay, so why?
Because there's a little bit of apprehensiveness around, can we really do all of those things again? Can Cooper Kupp have that elite of a year again? Are we not going to miss Von Miller? Are we not going to miss some of these players that went away? Darius Williams, I'm telling you right now, that is one that is horribly, horribly undervalued.
It's fine. They got my boyfriend Troy Hill back. He'll be fine.
Oh, good Lord.
He'll be just fine.
Do you have a deal with him?
I don't. I just
does
like
he
him as a
send
player,
you
and I know you
things if you mention his name.
I just like him as a player, and I know you pooed all over him last year because I made such a big deal about him going to Cleveland, and it didn't work. It obviously didn't work. Troy didn't have a great year last year, but
he's fine.
I still feel like him returning to his former team, it's going to be fine.
If I had a what is that wins above replacement WAR, that baseball stat?
Yep.
I'd call it the Troy Hill scale. He is the replacement that they are referring to. Fine player.
The full average player.
100%. He is the definition of average.
Okay. All right. So the LA Rams are a 4.
They're a 4. It would be hard to duplicate. You're champions already.
I don't know. I feel like that should be I feel like it should be a 5 for the LA Rams. But it's not my scale. It's Jeremy's scale.
Well, you're also looking at San Francisco going, I don't know what is happening over there. Which is a nice segue.
It is a nice segue.
Because San Francisco is a 5.
Of course they are.
They are a 5.
Because everybody's expecting the best from Trey
You talk
Lance.
to people in San Francisco, you would think that Trey Lance is a more mobile version of Joe Montana. Brandon Ayuk is Jerry Rice, and we're not even talking about George Kittle and Deebo Samuel because you already know how great they are.
Mm-hmm.
The backfield is unbelievable. I would say that's the most hyped team in the NFL. And it's funny to me because I don't value you that much differently than I did before. Yes, Trey Lance is a mobile threat. He changes your offense. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo was not just he was no Troy Hill. Okay.
Right.
He was not just a replacement level player.
He was pretty good.
He was fine.
Right.
But San Francisco
they're drunk, is what you're saying.
They will not tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
Fans will. The beat writers are out of their minds about what they're seeing.
So this is everybody that has been inside camp and they have seen the workings of the practices and, and the progression of Trey Lance, and they are over the moon.
Dante Whitner was talking about this earlier today. Apparently he's been at 49ers camp for a week, and he was talking about Trey Lance looks 5 years ahead of where he should be. Analyzing defense. He said the one thing that he's not doing exactly how you would want him to is on third down when you get the exotic look. He doesn't always pick that apart the way you would want him to. He tends to just take off. But he is light years. This narrative that, well, we're worried about Trey Lance. No, they are not. No, they are not.
Let's transition from them to talk about the other team that was in the Super Bowl last year. Because I have to imagine the hope is pretty high for the Cincinnati Bengals.
They're a 5.
In year 3 of Joe Burrow.
They're a 5. They really want you to know that the defense is not getting the respect that it deserves, which I agree with. The only thing I will caution is, and I've asked this, is the line as good as you're trying to tell me it is? No. That's the one thing that will not live up. And I'm not saying it's not going to be good. People are making this out like it's the heyday of the Dallas Cowboys. It's not. It's a marked improvement from where it was.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all super excited. They think there is no hangover, no playoff or Super Bowl runner-up hangover. They're going to be as good as that advertised, if not better.
They should be. They absolutely should be. The offensive line changes. I think they've gotten no doubt better on paper. Let's see what it looks like on the field. And I won't be shocked if this is a 3-loss team.
I was talking to a Bengals podcaster that had heard what I had said about, well, the line can't live up. And we're just talking back and forth. And I said, it doesn't have to be good. It has to be above terrible to be an improvement of what you were last year. You got to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's going to be fine.
In the comment section on YouTube, Bill Buttigieg, who is a Patriots fan, says the Patriots are a 1.5, and that's pushing it. Where do they fall in on your hope scale?
2.
At a 2.
2. And I'll be honest with you, the hope for them is not coming from the places that you would think.
Mm-hmm.
They believe that defense is better than people like me believe. Jack Jones, you remember in the draft process, I said dog.
Yes.
He is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
He will be a starting corner on that team. Devontae Parker has been much better in the red zone, a big target. He is, I believe I said this the other day, he is what N'Keal Harry was sold to you that he was going to be.
Yes.
There is hope there. They also look at Mac Jones and go, you are grossly limited. They're seeing exactly what I saw in the past. Now, here's the thing. He's one of the smartest quarterbacks in this league. He is an unbelievable grinder. And I think that will keep you from ever being bad. I don't see the hope from anybody. Can we sneak in as a 7? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not really a threat to any of these teams in the AFC.
We have built this Patriots team to be the least talented, at least on paper, that Bill's ever had. Are we being too obtuse about that? Are we
as
being
opposed to
too
acute?
Yes. Are we being too unkind? That Bill's such a defensive mastermind and, tongue wagger running the defense as well.
Oh, Bill Belichick? Or Steve Belichick?
Steve Belichick.
Oh, num.
Right. I mean, are we being too over the moon about that, or is there some truth?
Well, I mean, here's the dirty little secret of New England. Those teams were never crazy talented. Outside of the Randy Moss years, it wasn't like you were beating people on just the sheer volume of talent.
But, I mean, look at the defense. I mean, even in those years, you had a defense that, yes, I mean, it was, not great names on the defense, but you still knew them. And now you've got, J.C. Jackson's gone, and
well, here's the thing: you didn't know who J.C. Jackson was before J.C. Jackson was J.C. Jackson.
Of course, but
that's what a lot of people around New England are saying.
Mm-hmm.
I see the talent. I see what it was that Bill saw, and it's a can we win? Grind them out. The reason they're not higher is because they have a realistic expectation of the AFC is going to be a murderer's row, as I've called it. We can't shoot out with these teams. We're probably not good enough defensively right now to slow them down to where our offense is enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's hope in that building that there's more talent than people let on. But I can't go above a 2.
Right.
I will give New England, in large part, I will give their fans, beat writers, everything around the franchise credit. You've been pretty realistic about this.
Mm-hmm.
I fully expected New England Patriots fans and I would just be going back and forth all year long. Doesn't appear that it's going to be that way.
No, most of the response that I have seen from New England Patriots fans is like, Bill's better than that. Like when we project that they're going to win 4 games or 5 games or whatever, we'll be better than that, but we're still not great. That's pretty much the thought that I have seen from all Patriots fans. And so I'm with you.
I think all of the wackadoodle Patriot fans, they pull for your stupid thing now. They went with Tom.
Which the hope scale is still high for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not saying we're a 5, but I would say a strong 3.5 should be where we fall in.
3. It's a 3. The line is a concern. Todd Bowles is a concern. The defense is a concern.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you got Tom. No team with Tom Brady will ever be below a 3.
Agreed.
It's just not physically possible.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of hope from Tampa Bay fans for the second half of the year. Once Chris Godwin comes back and you've got, hopefully
I can't get a read on Chris Godwin.
They keep putting out there that, he could be back for week 1. Not going to happen. He is not going to come back that early.
I just don't feel like he
need
has
him
to.
Right. The smart thing to do is to take it easy and just ease him into the process. But I feel like by week 7, you'll probably see Chris Godwin hit the field.
I have him at 11 games. Would you take the over or the under?
I think I'd go over.
In the fantasy draft kit, he's at 11 games.
Yeah.
You would go over.
Oh, I thought you were talking about wins for the Bucs.
No. Games that Chris Godwin plays. I have him at 11.
Ooh.
And that's basically
I would go
glorified under. PUP designation for me.
I think I would go under. I'm fully expecting him to miss 6 games. So
Mike Evans has the highest target share percentage of any receiver in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now. Mm-hmm. Can't tell you it'll stay that way. There are a couple that are close, but he has the highest target share of any receiver in the league to me.
Well, I don't think Tom's going to be really pushing the ball to anybody else. I mean, obviously, he's always been good at distributing the ball. But, yeah, especially those weeks that Chris Godwin's not there, it's going to be a heavy dose of Mike Evans. And we'll see how we can hit Russell. Russell Gage is one that I feel like he's an unknown.
He has there's a good number on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those that people will see the draft kit and go, wow, Russell Gage's potential output is higher than I thought it would be.
I think that's sleeper territory for your fantasy draft.
I would agree.
So that's just me.
Sleeper list on the back end of the draft kit. No, I'm just saying.
You know
what I mean? I'm not trying to promote the draft kit. If you're playing a drinking game with us right now, draft kit would be a real bad one to be doing chats with.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back. When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy. Let me help you.
But at Ingles, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingles,
See you later, Dad.
all the ingredients for family.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
I'm Hannah Waddingham, and this is Hustle Rule, an audio docuseries featuring the untold stories of women soccer players around the world. From the streets of Santos, Brazil, to a truck smuggling Afghan refugees bumping along a road in rural Denmark. These are the stories of players willing to risk everything for the game they love. Listen to Hustle Rule on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Won't stop for nobody.
It's the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We're talking about the hope scale for all of the NFL teams. Jeremy has ranked them 1 to 5-1, meaning you should probably just blow up your team and not even try. Go for the number one overall draft pick, whether you need a quarterback or the greatest edge rusher in the history of football. You should just blow it up and quit. Or a 5, you're just over the moon. And the hope is, hope springs eternal for your team. West Virginia Willie in the comments on the YouTube stream is a Giants fan. He says they're all over the place right now. And he's got a lot of high hopes that Tyrod Taylor is going to be taking a lot of snaps at quarterback, apparently. I don't have much high hopes for that. I feel like you're going to be mired in mediocrity again, or less than mediocrity, with Daniel Jones.
Oh, I'll give Giants fans a little hope since they took over our chat momentarily. If you told me Tyrod Taylor played 17 games this season, I would take the New York Giants over the Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You give me a vet quarterback that I know is not going to turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads me to their hope scale grade. It's a respectable 3.
Interesting.
They love a lot of pieces around this team.
Mm-hmm.
It all ties back to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They don't buy Daniel Jones, and they shouldn't. But they're looking at Brian Daboll going, this is a nice last hurrah. If he can't make it work, nobody can. and we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the talent of that is the Giants are a team I've kind of laughed at because people make it sound like they are bereft of talent. They are not bereft of talent. They just don't have a quarterback.
Right.
It's like a team full of great shooters and you don't have a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You got some vets on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
You got some great young pieces on the defense. I feel like they're 2 years away. Like they're a year away from being a year away.
They're going to be a pain in the tuchus. I'll put it that way. They're a team that, come the end of the season, you're not going to look at them the way you look at the Chicago Bears or the Atlanta Falcons or the Seattle Seahawks. They will be a headache to deal with.
With the Pittsburgh Steelers in the news today, a 2-year contract extension for Deontay Johnson. So he's going to get 18-something a year.
Which to me is a value.
Sure. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of on par. We're seeing all these superstars get $24 million a year. I don't consider Deontay Johnson necessarily part of that group.
If DK Metcalf got $24 million a year, I will take Deontay Johnson for that much, if not more.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
DK Metcalf bees big and bees fast real well.
Mm-hmm.
He can still not run a route. And I think that's really going to be obvious this year.
Mm-hmm.
With mediocre quarterback play, I think it's going to become markedly more obvious. And I'm not trying to slight the guy. He is still easily one of the biggest mismatches in the league. I just look at Deontay Johnson. I feel like he does more with less. He does not have the same physical gifts that a DK has.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with the money at all. $18 million a year is right on par, I think, with what Deontay Johnson is worth. What is the hope scale for them, 1 to 5?
They're one of the only ones that don't have a whole number. It's 2.5.
2.5.
Because there's a variance. There's about half of the fan base that says what we say. It's the Steelers. They never just crater back in playoff team. There's another set that looks at it and goes, man, I hope Mitch Trubisky's just halfway decent and leads into Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
So they're 2.5.
I would say if Mitch Trubisky is competent this year at quarterback, which I think he is capable of,
I agree,
then they will be a playoff team. I mean, the chances are pretty good.
I agree.
Depending on what happens with Cleveland. We got football tonight.
Yeah!
Get him the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
You didn't seriously think I wasn't picking this game, really? Tonight, Hall of Fame game, Las Vegas Raiders, Jacksonville Jaguars. The Raiders are a 2.5-point favorite. Over-under is 30.5. I'm going to give you a dirty little secret of preseason games. Always bet the under. And this one I came close to cheating on my own rule, but I'm not going to. I'm going under the 30.5 because I do think this is going to be a great big sludge fest. You won't see many of the starters. This is going to be ugly. But I do look at the Raiders and go, you know what? You got a lot of young talent. I don't trust Jacksonville in the least. Give me the Raiders minus 2.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And most of the rain staying off to our west for tonight. 67 degrees our low. Thunderstorms do catch us in the Friday forecast and for this weekend. And I think our temps will be in the low to mid 80s for late week and through the weekend. Rich humidity in play into next week and splash and dash thunderstorms for the top of next week. Also Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here in the Valley. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by T.P. Howard Plumbing.
Hey, this is Josh Howard with T.P. Howard's Plumbing. T.P. Howard's Plumbing and Blue Ridge Community College have teamed up to start a plumbing apprenticeship program. Earn while you learn. Go to blueridge.edu to sign up, or you can call T.P. Howard's Plumbing at 628-1369. That's 628-1369.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
Tuscola's Fall Sports Mountaineer Midnight Madness is kicking off at C.E. Weatherby Stadium this Friday evening, beginning at 8. culminating at 12:01 Saturday morning with the first contact football practice of the 2022 season. Midnight Madness highlighting all fall sports and athletes while bringing the community together for a night of family fun. Admission, only $5, and 10 and under get in free for Tuscola's Mountain.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every mile. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $35.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Doug Brown. After a February arrest for having cannabis oil in her luggage, Brittany Griner today is found guilty in a Russian courtroom. She is sentenced to 9 years in prison and fined almost $17,000. ESPN's TJ Quinn says, though, this news is not the end game here.
For all purposes, whether the sentence was a year or 10 years, the length of her detention is going to be determined by however long it takes to cut a deal between those two countries.
TJ Quinn on Barton Hahn. Griner pleaded guilty 4 weeks ago, but her attorneys are expected to appeal. Arizona Cardinals tight end Max Williams is now cleared to practice with the team. He tore an ACL in Week 5 last year against the 49ers. Auburn quarterback TJ Finley is charged today with attempting to elude police. The Tigers are scheduled to open preseason practice tomorrow. Major League Baseball will get back to London next year. The Cubs and Cardinals will play a 2-game series at London Stadium in June.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Welcome back into the program here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. And, of course, we're always seen everywhere on YouTube. We are live streaming each and every time we are live here on the radio. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then you can cut out the website for that. And then you can just go directly, get all the alerts to your phone when we go live. It's all hunky-dunky. So you join the House of Reprehensibles if you'd like to after you subscribe to the channel. But the subscription to the channel is really primo because then you can get into the chat and you can help us steer the program like is happening right now with our NFL Hope Scale. Jeremy has gone through all of the I almost said spring training. This is not baseball. The training camp reports.
No, we need to get baseball out of your head. All right? Baseball is done. There is no more baseball talk on this here program.
Because the NFL kicks off tonight with the Hall of Fame game. The Jacksonville Jaguars, minus their two biggest intrigue players. No Trevor Lawrence, no Travis Etienne tonight. Going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. Have we heard any reports on anybody going to sit out for the Raiders in this game?
I'm going to assume anybody that you do see, you will not see for a great long time. And I'm fine with that.
Or you see them turn up in the XFL.
I don't care. Are they putting on Jaguar and Raider uniforms?
Yes, they are.
Are they putting on Jaguar and Raider helmets?
Yes.
Good enough for me.
It's going to be on NBC tonight.
I don't care if they put the cast of Cats in these uniforms and they go out there and play. I don't care. Put somebody in a helmet and let me watch them play football.
You got to be careful who you put into a helmet. You never know when things are going to go awry. I mean, heck, even Even Trevor Penning's been having some problems at training camp.
Trevor Penning's just trying to make a name for himself, okay?
Yeah, well,
some guys there you got to play till after the whistle. And that's how I got here.
Trevor Penning got kicked out of practice, out of all organized team activities with the New Orleans Saints because he started fights 3 days in a row at training camp.
Because he keeps playing at the end of the whistle. I have no problem with it. Let's go, Trevor. I like guys that's my kind of player.
Not with your own teammates.
I don't care.
Come on, Bill Romanowski. We don't do this.
I don't care if you mix it up with a guy at the gas station. Like, I'm here to fight. That's what I want to do. That's in. Let's go.
You're all here to start fights and chew bubble gum, and we're all out of bubble gum.
That's not how that saying goes at all.
It is the Sportsocracy and the NFL Hope Scale. It goes from 1 to 5. And you can imagine how this works. One
is Tank's hairline. It's just completely hopeless.
No, see, why did you
5 is my luxurious maiden. You would trade in a heartbeat, and you know it.
Of course I would. Of course I would. But we're not here to talk about hair. We're here to talk about NFL teams and their hope for the upcoming NFL season. And, oh, what the heck. Let's kick off the hour with a bang. Give me the Carolina Panthers.
I'm going to say 2.
That's it?
I'm going to say 2.
That's all you got. Okay, so is this the hope scale for the team internally?
Internally.
Okay.
This is all of it. There's just not a lot of hope. You're looking at the quarterback position going, maybe. But there's just a lot of disjointed pieces here. I mean, the defense is fine. I have no qualms with the defense. I have no qualms with the weapons, really.
Mm-hmm.
It all ties back to your quarterback.
Of course.
And the health of Christian McCaffrey.
And you bring it all back to the quarterback battle between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. It started out going, well, maybe Sam Darnold is better than Baker Mayfield the first couple of days of camp. It looks like the tides have turned on that, though. I mean, I'll just go to the latest report that I've seen from Damian Parson at the Draft Network. He's been spending some time at camp, and he says it's Baker Mayfield, and it's not even close. That Baker Mayfield, through what he has seen at camp, is way better than Sam Darnold. Is that what you're hearing?
No. That's actually the first time I've heard anybody say that.
Really? Okay.
I will tell you verbatim how this was said to me. I really wish we could combine them into one person.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we could somehow morph them into one, take all of the good of both of them and turn them into one guy, then you have a legitimate big boy NFL starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I've actually been told. Whoever's playing against the twos has looked better every single day.
Damian wrote today that before arriving, word out of camp was that Mayfield and Darnold are close in terms of performance. And he said that could not have been further from the truth during Wednesday's practice, especially. Darnold started in the 7-on-7 drills, working to score. Unfortunately, his processing was on the slower side, forcing missed opportunities and inaccurate passes. He was not able to locate the open receiver quickly. Luckily, the drill is performed without a pass rush. This makes, of course, the lateness not that much of a problem. And then it came Baker's time. And when it was up to him in 7-on-7 drills, he just lit it up, apparently.
Against the twos. Who did you say said that?
This was Damian Parson, the Draft Network.
I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy.
Sure, he's a wonderful guy, but that's
what you just said flies in the face of everything I have heard.
So you've heard it the other way around, that Sam looks better.
They're the same guy.
Or is it still close?
Whoever plays against the twos looks drastically better. And now that's the reason I said it was a 2, and I'm not going to lie, I consider it a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is something to be said for every quarterback that trots out against the ones looks horrid. That could be that your defense is just good. There's a lot of talent on that defense. And defense does tend to start faster than offense. Anybody that doesn't at least make note of that is disingenuous as they can be. It's the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
Then the offense tends to catch up, and the offense will look better. Offense is all about timing. Well, you haven't seen each other in months. So, and some of you have never seen each other at all. So to me, that's anybody that says they're making sweeping declarations about who's winning position battles right now. Okay. Tell me you need something to talk about really badly.
So on the hope scale for the 2022 NFL season, the Carolina Panthers get a 2.
A 2. And that just falls on there is no machine that will meld Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield into one person.
I would give it a 2.5 because I think a lot of, at least when it comes to Panther fans, because the one thing you should be really looking forward to is next year when you get a new head coach.
I say, but that's not hope. This is for this year.
Oh, I understand. Yeah,
I'm not giving you tokens for next year. We'll get to next year.
Yeah, on the future scale, I feel like you should be pulling for not much this year.
Chaos.
So
if you're a real true Panthers fan, you know what you should be pulling for right now? Chaos.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
I did that just so he could do his Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. That's Michael Caine if he went to WVU.
All right, we were talking about the hope scale for the upcoming NFL season. Moving from the Carolina Panthers, let's go over to the AFC and talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, who will start tonight in the Hall of Fame game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What is their rating?
So another one has the half-point scale. It's 4.5.
That high?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I get it. Devontae Adams coming in. I'm super high on Derek Carr this year. I think Derek Carr is going to have the best year he's ever had.
I asked you this question earlier, so it's disingenuous. Mm-hmm. But would you like to hear the list of quarterbacks in the last 5 years that have thrown less of a percentage of their passes to wide receivers than Derek Carr? Would you like to hear it again? And there are a slew of people like me that are going, Josh McDaniels or John Gruden. I feel like McDaniels got some humble pie. And now you're taking the acumen and the offensive knowledge, and you're not beholden to Tim Tebow or any of the other stupid things that happened when he was a head coach. Yeah, I have a grand amount of hope. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of hope about that defense. A lot of hope about that defense.
And now that he has a legitimate number one wide receiver.
Not just a legitimate one. The one, well, that too, but
right.
The one that he is very familiar with.
Mm-hmm. Obviously went to college together at Fresno State. I think it's going to be as close to a magical year as you've seen from the Raiders since the 70s.
I'll put it this way. Every passing day in the West, I become more convinced of the L.A. Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders, and I become less convinced on the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day. And there has not been a day that has not been the case in the last week.
All right, so we've had a 2 with the Carolina Panthers. We've had a 4.5 with the Las Vegas Raiders. Ooh, let's go back to the bottom of the scale because I just have to know what the fans of the Atlanta Falcons or the insiders with the Atlanta Falcons, where their hope is right now.
2.
2? That seems high.
Drake London has been a dog. And Kyle Pitts, we already know, is a dog. There is a belief that, look, the defense is dog water, and we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a belief that this offense is going to be way better than you think it is. Way better. Who the quarterback's going to be? No clue. Some people don't care. They flat out do not care. You know what? Both these guys can hurt you with their feet. Who's healthiest and who's going to turn the ball over the least? But Drake London has been everything I told you he would be.
Well, we know who the starter is going to be week 1.
Mariota.
It's going to be Marcus Mariota. Arthur Smith has already said, I'm a loyal guy, and I'm sticking with my guy to start out the season. How fast did they move to Desmond Ridder? I mean, that's all up to Marcus.
I don't necessarily know that they do.
Ever?
That's one of the things you got to remember. When you take a quarterback in the 3rd round, you're not beholden to this guy.
Yeah, but also doesn't there come a point in a quote-unquote lost season where you go, let's use the rookie?
Not when you're developing Kyle Pitts and Drake London, there's not. Not when you have as many young pieces around that offense. No, there's a merit to, and that's one of those things that I never hear anybody talk about. It is a much harder decision than people make it. of, okay, well, we've got the rookie. The rookie's going to put everybody in a bad position. I don't care who it is. Trevor Lawrence did it. He's the number one rated quarterback I've ever evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
He put guys in bad situations. So when you have a overwhelmingly young roster, you have to make the decision, which is more important to me? Finding out what I have in the 10 positions that surround my quarterback, or what I have in that quarterback. There comes a time where, yeah, the quarterback outweighs it, if you think there's something to him. If not, then it could be Christian Hackenberg, where you just look at it and go, you've got a cute arm. And the minute that we so much as shine a laser pointer at you, you freak out. So it's a bit of a fulcrum that people don't really respect. I didn't buy Ritter as much as other people have. I won't be shocked if he plays the last 4 games of the year. I will be very surprised if it's more than half the season.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Where does your team fall in on the NFL hope scale? We'll continue to run down each and every team up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 26 westbound approaching Hendersonville Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound is slow between Hendersonville Road to approaching Chimney Rock Road. On 40 eastbound, traffic is stop and go between George's Branch Road and the Smoky Park Highway. 40 on the westbound side is slow between Malfunction Junction, the 26-240 split, and George's Branch Road. US 74 in Lake Junaluska near NC 209, heavy delays. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is stop and go. Again, Hendersonville Road northbound is stop and go between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy milk burrito.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every mile. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $35.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's back to school time, so here's a lesson in big wireless hype. Flashy phone plan deals usually don't add up to actual savings. Graduate to Straight Talk Wireless and get our Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of hotspot data for just $45 a month. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A13 5G for only $149, all on America's best 5G networks. Unlimited data, less money, no-brainer. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. A month equals 30 days. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Just like that, it's hello back to school season. Luckily at Famous Footwear, you can find unbeatable savings on the hottest brands. Have a son who's determined to bring his A-game? Lace him up in fresh Puma courts. Is your daughter's style as big as her personality? Have her show up in iconic checkerboard Vans. For a limited time only, buy one, get one half off, both online and at a local Famous store. Buy one item, get a second item of equal or lesser value for half price. Some exclusions apply.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy, and yes, it's breaking news time.
And this is a doozy.
It is. We now know who is going to be the next person to review the Deshaun Watson case on behalf of the NFL. It is Peter C. Harvey, the former Attorney General of the state of New Jersey. In fact, he was New Jersey's first African-American to serve as Attorney General in that state, but he does have a history with the NFL. He is the guy that advised the NFL in the 2017 personal conduct investigation of Ezekiel Elliott,
who got 6 games. Just
he did,
for the record.
He did, but he has an extensive background, obviously, as an attorney, as a prosecutor, and has some expertise, they say, in the domestic violence, sexual assault area. In fact, he helped the league draft the personal conduct policy. So we shall see what he says. He is again, as I said, handpicked by Roger Goodell to give him what he wants. And I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I'm not as convinced of that.
You're not as convinced. But we'll follow the story, obviously, but we are not... we're not opening this back up for discussion because we continue with the NFL Hope Scale for the 2022 NFL season here on Game Day.
It's back.
We have NFL football tonight with the Las Vegas Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We already talked about the Raiders, so let's talk about the Jaguars. Where do they fall in on the Flostradamus Hope Scale?
You're not going to believe what I'm getting ready to say.
If it's anything higher than a 3,
it's a 4.
Oh, gosh.
It's a 4.
Why?
And I'm going to be honest with you, I've said this on the show. Obviously, being a Florida State fan, there's a lot of overlap between the Florida Gators and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I get some nice little nuggies. The difference between Doug Peterson and Urban Meyer, I can't speak it enough. And there is a belief that if you look around this team, there's enough talent that nobody thinks they're going to go 9-8, but they think it's going to be a huge step forward. And I'm going to be honest with you, I agree.
Well,
I agree. I think you're going to see out of Trevor Lawrence what it was that we all said. And Trevor Lawrence is going to become the new poster child for and maybe it's me being the draft nerd, maybe it's I've caught a lot of flack for a lot of guys that I said wouldn't work in this league, or I said would work, and they went into situations that did or did not work for them. He's going to be the poster child of that. They are seeing all of the things that they wanted to see a year ago, and dumpster fire Urban Meyer just broke this team for 12 calendar months.
You had the circus that was the Urban Meyer show last year with this team. Now you bring in a more level-headed person in Doug Peterson, a guy who, don't forget, did make Nick Foles one of the most beloved characters in all of Philadelphia sports lore. So you give him a guy like Trevor Lawrence, and let's go. Let's see what can happen. I understand that you would be hopeful, but I mean,
that's what we're talking about.
But on the hope scale, I mean, doesn't that have to translate to wins?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. This is the hope scale. This is how you feel. This is how you feel going into the year.
Well, facts don't care about your feelings. This team's still bad.
I'm not as sure of that as you are.
I just don't know that it can all come
there's-
together in 1 year.
I feel like there is going to be an upheaval of the bottom of the league. The bottom 5 have been the same 5 teams for the better part of the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that any of them fall into that anymore, except one.
Except one.
Which is the only team that has worse than a 1.
The Houston Texans.
-2. Of which, the Titanic was at like a 1.5 about 4 hours after it hit the iceberg.
You can't even give a half a point for Davis Mills?
No, because you have nothing around him. I mean, it is one thing if you as a team go in and say, we're going young and we're going to be awful. I have never seen a team with a roster that looked like this that wasn't an expansion team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the only one. This is the most listless franchise I have ever seen. And Nick Caserio, I'm sure you are a super sweet guy, and I'm sure you're fun at parties. But you are bad at this job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like you're wasting time. And as I stated, I'm not the only one.
Our lovely Sportsocracy House of Reprehensibles member Kevin Vick in the comments says, well, if it's about how you feel, then the Cowboys are going to have to be a 20, like always. Well, this is how people inside the organization feel.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the fans. Fans, and look, I feel like most fans are actually rational people. There's about 10% that are wackadoodles.
Mm-hmm.
In Dallas, it might be closer to like 70. But,
right.
I mean, Dallas is a 3. Dallas is a 3. You can't feel good about that receiver room. Jerry coming out yesterday and saying, well, go and give the young guys a chance to prove. Jerry.
No.
Buddy.
Don't do that.
No.
I mean, yes, give them the opportunity, but you need to go get something for that wide receiver room. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you who it is.
I can tell you who it is.
But you need to go
exactly
find somebody.
I can tell you verbatim who it is.
Who?
Odell Beckham Jr. Throw it at him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
All the money.
All of it. I don't care. 1 year, prove it deal. Do it. He won't be back until week probably 7 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'd have him and Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. That's a respectable receiver corps. You're going out there with Simi Fehoko and
Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert. I love him, but my Lord have mercy, he was raw, and he may be asked to do more than any rookie receiver.
I mean, he'll be the 2. If they don't make another move, he's the 2.
All right, and building the draft kit, this is one of the fun things about the way that I do this every year for myself. I've never done it in a way that's consumable for other people. So I have to lay it out in a way that makes all of the information very easy to consume. There's no rookie receiver in the NFL has a higher percentage of target share than Jalen Tolbert.
Really?
No.
Not Drake London?
Nope.
Because Kyle Pitts is there.
Because they're going to run a lot.
Mm.
Because you have 2 mobile quarterbacks that are going to run a lot. That's not going to happen in Dallas. It's a myth that Dak Prescott runs all the time. He runs slightly more than Ryan Tannehill. He has a very, very high percentage of targets.
I would think Treylon Burks would be higher on that list. Okay. I mean, all right.
Name me the 3 in Dallas.
Simi Fehoko.
There you go. Who, by the way, plays on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb is going to have to play out of the slot because they don't have anybody else that can.
Tolbert wouldn't be the slot guy?
No, he's an outside guy.
Okay.
He's going to be asked to do a lot, which scares me.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him a lot. I still like him a lot. And I think he'll be very good in this league. But you're asking a guy to make a tremendous jump in competition.
You are in the Sportsocracy. What is the hope scale like for your team? If we haven't covered it yet, we're gonna. Stick with us. We'll also get weird up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And most of the rain staying off to our west for tonight. 67 degrees our low. Thunderstorms do catch us in the Friday forecast and for this weekend. And I think our temps will be in the low to mid 80s for late week and through the weekend. Rich humidity in play into next week, and splash and dash thunderstorms for the top of next week, also Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here in the Valley. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
26 east and westbound between Chimney Rock Road and Hendersonville Road, expect delays. 26 westbound also slow between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 eastbound stop and go between Georges Branch Road and Smoky Park Highway. 40 on the westbound side is slow between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound, stop and go between the Royal Pines area and Mills Gap Road. An accident reported in the stretch. Hendersonville Road northbound, stop and go between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road. Heavy delays. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Dog days of summer got your business needing help? Check out Indeed, an all-in-one hiring solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingles, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingles,
See you later, Dad.
all the ingredients for family.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
You know, I'm baffled all the time when things like this happen. Look, here, if you're going to create a logo, you should probably consider all of the things that your logo can be interpreted as. And the Hanover County Public Schools system up in Virginia has found out the hard way because, look, they were doing this symposium or this this learning symposium over the summer break as they get ready for the upcoming school year, and they got all of the teachers together and the administrators together, and they had this new logo that they're going to put out there for the school system. And this is really going to speak. It's going to really speak to everybody and tell us we're on a great path. Well, it had the exact opposite effect to where when the logo started making its rounds outside of the Unified Professional Learning Conference, it was quite clear to everyone that this has a very sensitive meaning for a lot of people. The logo was basically a swastika with a box in the middle of it. And the prevailing thought is, who drew that up and how did you not know? How did you not see the similarities in this logo and, of course, the one that is a no-no for anybody, especially any public school system to be pushing out there? The Unified Professional Learning Conference, they have taken up all of the shirts. They have removed it from the website. But how does the people that are supposed to be the smartest in the community, teaching the young children of the community, how do you not see this? It baffles me each and every time, because this isn't the first time we've had this story.
Oh, no.
You create a logo, you got to know. And not one single person in that room went, you guys don't see the resemblance between
Nobody
this
sees it.
And that World War II era symbol that is of no good, very bad thing for everyone?
I will tell you, as somebody that does a lot of graphic design things, and I have for quite some time, and Tank can vouch for this, I ask virtually everyone in the building, hey, what do you think of this?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something I'm not, and I will tell you, when you start designing something, sometimes you get a little tunnel visioned and you don't see it. You show it to other people, they see it.
Right.
I don't understand how there was no check and balance there.
A swastika with a box in the middle of it and little circles at the points of each of the four. It's just, how did you not see it?
We often tell stories in this segment of weird things that people buy.
Uh-huh.
This one is a weird thing that someone is going to sell. This comes from Ali Tarantino. He was a camp counselor for many years, about 30 years ago. And he was a collector of things. He would, he had tokens that reminded him of the children that were camp attendees with him as a counselor. Well, as he was flipping through old photos, newspapers, and bus maps that he had collected over the years, he found a very strange collectible. It was a baseball card. Little 8-9-year-old baseball card. Not of a famous athlete, but of a name that should sound pretty familiar. It's Mark Zuckerberg.
A baseball
card. He has
card.
a baseball card of Mark Zuckerberg when he was like 8 years old that he signed as a child.
Oh, wow.
And now he is giving it to an auction house, and they are going to auction it. I cannot wait to see what somebody pays for this. If it's more than $8, you did it wrong.
It's
going to be a dumb number. I just don't know why.
6 figures.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
I just don't know why. Like, who looks at that and goes, oh, yeah, I'm a huge Mark Zuckerberg fan? You mean the weird pasty guy that created Facebook?
Right.
That's the guy. Okay. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a memento to have of, hey, there was one time in this guy's life where he thought he was athletic. Because you take one look at him, he doesn't look like a guy who should be playing sports.
I mean, I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't thoroughly enjoy the app that he gave the world, but I understand its purpose. But there is one thing that I love about Mark Zuckerberg.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the only famous people on this planet that side by side with me makes me look like John Stamos. We all know there's that one guy that you go, I want to go out with Dave. Next to Dave, I look like a catch.
Chris McCann in the YouTube stream says Elon Musk, he should buy it.
I want him to buy it and burn it. Just buy it and set it on fire, like right in front of him. Like, oh, look, I want to see your tears,
that's
Mark.
Just mean.
Look at this little piece of your childhood.
I would love to know where it came from.
He gave it to him. This guy was a counselor of Zuckerberg's, and he asked for things to remember you by.
Okay, so as a kid, he signed it.
Correct,
and gave it
to his camp counselor.
That's hubris all over the place. Done with that kid. Sign your baseball card and give it to me.
I signed the cards.
Did you really?
Of course I did. Not because I thought they'd ever be worth anything, because I thought it was cool.
Because you just wanted to practice your signature.
Secret time? You can ask me to sign anything at this point. I will sign anything you want me to. The glass you're drinking out of, in. I love signing things.
It's so weird.
Were you not one of those kids that sat around just signing your name on everything?
No, not
really.
I
did. Oh, good Lord, I did. Funny thing, my signature hasn't changed since I was about 7 years old.
That is pretty funny.
Never changed, and it's never been legible.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time where we worked on our signatures. And I was famous for the S with the $sign in it. Because I thought that was cool.
In all the time that I've done this with you, There have only been a handful of things that you've ever said that I went, that.
Uh-huh.
That explains you
It
in a
explains
nutshell.
me. Why?
It's dollar sign. Look.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Because one day I'm going to make all the monies.
They call me Money Spencer.
Little did I know. Not so much. There's a reason I'm cheap, and it's not just by choice.
Did you ever sign it as Money Spencer?
No.
Oh, you should have.
No. It was
Man.
always Tank. I didn't need another alias. Tank was cool enough.
We do have to come up with a new nickname for you. That's been swirling around iHeart here for the last few days.
Yes.
We have to call Tank something else because he's not a tank anymore.
I'm not a tank anymore.
I want to call you Miata Spencer. I mean, that's personally what.
I would say you can call me Rogue, but I don't want to be, I like my new car from Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Absolutely.
But I also don't want to share the name of a female X-Man.
Nighthawk.
Hey, I like Nighthawk. Have one tattooed on my leg. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. But no, I'm not a tank anymore. Or at least I'm not as big as a tank anymore. And it's all thanks to the PhD weight loss program. PhD has helped me since Thanksgiving drop over 80 pounds. They have taught me healthy nutrition. They have given me all of the tools that I need to reach success on the program. 80% of the food that you need to lose the visceral fat weight is all provided by PhD Weight Loss, and you can go to myphdweightloss.com today and find out how they can help you get similar results.
My goal with PhD was not losing copious amounts of weight. It was getting back into serviceable shape. I had always been an active person, and about the time I turned 30, I became a little sedentary, became lazy, and it led to a little weight gain. Now, after just over half a year on this program, I'm back to my high school weight. I feel better than I have in years, and it's all thanks to PhD Weight Loss.
One of our lovely sales professionals today, I pulled up in the new car, got out, and she goes, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in at least 2 months," and that is not Tank Spencer. It is. It's only the healthier Tank Spencer. You want to get healthier? Go to myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans.
Call you Mike Honcho from now on.
Mike Honcho. No,
if you know, you know.
Half track. Somebody mentioned that at one point. Half track would be a decent nickname. This is the smaller version of a tank.
I'm going to stick with Velcro.
Velcro?
Yeah. You look like a guy that would have a Velcro wallet.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. I can't dignify that with a response.
You also can't dignify it with a rejection.
No, I can't. The NFL Hope Scale. Flostradamus has been talking to all his sources and combing all of the news feeds coming out of training camps to give you the Hope Scale for your NFL team. And let's see. There's a team that we've been talking a lot about in the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints. What is the hope scale for them internally, those who are in the organization and cover the organization?
4. The defense is going to be terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrann Mathieu missed a week of camp. He was dealing with a personal issue, but they have seen enough to go, you know what? Jameis, you don't have to be number 1 overall pick, Jameis. You need to be really good arm game manager, Jameis Winston, because this defense is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
There are two, in my opinion, there are two defenses in this league that are clearly better than everybody else, and it's the New Orleans Saints and the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm all with you on Baltimore. I think they're a number 1, especially when it comes to the secondary. But New Orleans ain't going to be too far behind.
And I have that backwards.
Despite the fact that they lost Marcus Williams to the Baltimore Ravens.
And to me, I'm the exact transverse of that. I think the Saints are the best defense in the league.
Really?
And Baltimore is behind them, and then there's a drop to 3, which is the Buffalo Bills.
Whose hope scale is 5.
I mean, if you already know, why'd you ask?
Well, I'm just saying, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Because this is the year.
Mm-hmm.
This is the year
they feel like
expect
now they
them.
have the perfect blend of the young guys have matured to now that you can depend on them, whether it's Gabriel Davis, Devin Singletary. They have high beliefs for Devin Singletary. I will tell you one thing that I have learned as I've gone down the rabbit hole, and I've probably talked to more Buffalo people than any other team in this league. When you get as dogmatic that you're going to win a Super Bowl, here, you have this. People are writing Devin Singletary off, and they shouldn't. You're undervaluing Devin Singletary, and you're overvaluing James Cook.
Yes.
In the rookie year.
And that is the one time where you can say you, and I will take that personally because I am definitely one of those people. I am obviously all about James Cook being, national champion with the Georgia Bulldogs.
And look, I love the kid as a player. It's just hype. The fun thing about hype trains is sometimes hype trains gain way too much speed, and they get to a certain place well before they should have. That's where James Cook is.
I have been on the hype train of every Buffalo Bills rookie running back for the last 5 years, it feels like.
And what has that gotten you?
Nothing, which is why I'm down on Devin Singletary, way down on Zach Moss.
Well, Zach Moss may or may not be on this team.
And I hope that James Cook doesn't let me down 3 years in a row. From the Buffalo Bills, let's go to another team that doesn't have, in my opinion, a whole lot of hope for a lot of wins this year, but I know that the hope scale may be skewed a little bit on the New York Jets.
What's the highest number in the world? Infinity billion. The Jets are a 5.
Oh, gosh.
The Jets are a 5.
I'm
telling you this right now, and Tank can vouch for this. I am very close with somebody in that organization. They have almost convinced me that Zach Wilson is going to be Pat Mahomes 2.0.
Stop it.
I mean, that's how overwhelming it is. And it's the surprising thing, the offense has been very good. I was very fond of the Wyoming-Idaho trip that all of the offensive guys took. It's all about two things. Zach Wilson, because he is maturing into a leader, and it's becoming very obvious. So even the most lay observer from the outside, it is very obvious that he is taking charge of this team, and he is rounding into form as the leader of this team. The thing that I think will surprise people is the defense. The defense is going to be better than you think. That secondary is terrible. Ahmad Gardner does not look like a human. I'm getting real-time training camp updates from the Jets because I'm a Jets fan. I have seen him do things that do not look as though they should be physically possible. I have never seen somebody, and look, I evaluated the college tape. I've seen him do these things. Seeing him do them on an NFL field, it's I'm just telling you, it's different. That kid is just different. And the fact that you've got a secondary in this offense with that pass rush, I would say there's probably no team that is in one calendar year gone from A to Z more than the New York Jets. And they know what they are. They're not sitting. I'm not sitting here telling you they're going to be Super Bowl champions.
No.
There's going to be a huge jump. Huge jump in year to year.
The hope has been growing incrementally for the last 2 years.
Well, and this is just the manifestation of it. You've got all these rookies. You had the rookies last year that were a little more raw. Elijah Vera Tucker's a good example of that. This year, you brought in guys that are more ready-made. Sauce Gardner is ready to play instantaneously. Jermaine Johnson is going to have a role instantaneously. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. There's a lot of ammo on this team. And the hope is the highest it's been in all of my years with the Jets, and that goes back to the late 90s. I have never seen it like this.
Next up on our coverage of the NFL Hope Scale, as dubbed by one Mr. Jeremy Greene, we'll talk about those cannibals from the NFC North.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slowing between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound stop and go between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound is slow between the Royal Pines area and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road northbound stop and go between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound stop and go approaching Long Shoals Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Dog days of summer got your business needing help? Check out Indeed, an all-in-one hiring solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back? Especially this time of year. You need to be moving pain-free, right? Just contact the team at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies you need. Learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting, new, natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. Locations in Asheville and Greenville. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 in the Sportsocracy, of course, heard everywhere, live or on demand, anywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Continuing with the hope scale for the 2022 NFL season, let's talk about the kneecap chewers up in Detroit. This is a team that I got a lot of hopes for, personally. I think the offense is going to be great. Jeremy, you and I have talked about this over and over and over again. Once Jameson Williams especially comes back later in the season.
May not be as late as you think.
I could see Jared Goff having another year where you go, hey, he's not god-awful at football.
They're a 4.
That's a 4?
It's a 4. They know there are limitations on the defense. The hope is that they can salvage something out of Jeff Okudah. They feel the same way about the offense that I do. And I'm telling you right now, the number, I would say, I can't tell you this is the most underrated stat in the NFL. Or it's not even a stat. The most underrated unit on any team in the NFL is the offensive line of the Detroit Lions. I never hear anybody talk about that. They're top 5 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's even really debatable.
Really?
Yes, I don't think that's even debatable. That line is really, really good. And let's look at you know what? Jared Goff gets a bad rep as just being god-awful, and it's solely because the Rams traded up to get him.
Right. He was a number 1 overall pick, and, you know, when you don't look great as a number 1 overall pick, you're obviously going to get some bad look.
If Jared Goff had been a second-round pick, we would look at this team even more favorably than we do. He has gotten a bad rep, and they don't feel like he's just some stopgap. They're fine.
Okay. I'm really interested to know where on the hope scale the Miami Dolphins fall.
They're dead in the middle.
Dead in the middle.
3. It's a 3. Look, you can put out as many look at Tua's 65-yard bomb videos on Twitter as you want to. Here's the problem. There are cell phone cameras everywhere. And so the short hopper to the shortstop that keeps happening, you cannot put that out on Twitter. It doesn't mean that people don't see it. And so there's a lot of animus around this team that Tua's not where he needs to be. Yeah, he can step up in a completely clean pocket and hit a bomb. I got news for you. Every quarterback in the NFL can do that. All of them. Joe Flacco just did that at Jets camp 2 days ago. He's 87 years old, and he stepped up and hit like a 65-yard bomb to some no-name receiver. It doesn't mean anything. And there's animus that this is going to be a team that just doesn't live up to the expectations. And I said this when the Tyreek Hill deal happened. You're putting an expectation on this team in a system that is very difficult to learn. I mean, I just watched it. I watched my team do this for a year. This is completely different than anything you've ever done before. And there are some square pegs and some round holes. Mike McDaniel's first-year head coach. There's been a lot of noise. It's not as hunky-dunky as they want to make you believe.
A lot of people still on the fence about Tua, especially
they should be,
especially in that organization. It is the make-or-break year for him.
And that's the funny thing about Tua that I didn't hear anybody say with the Dolphins' punishment. Yeah, guess what? You're stuck with Tua now. That's why I didn't hear anybody else say this. You're stuck.
Right.
Because if you remember, the thing we said was they have 2 1s. All right, you got 2 1s, which means you can maneuver up and get one of these quarterbacks. You're not going to get Bryce. You're not going to get C.J. Stroud. You can get the next tier. And there are a slew of guys in that. Tyler Van Dyke was the one that just screamed to me. Playing at Miami, you can get a lot of momentum back behind that, and I like him a lot as a prospect. That's off the table now. You don't have the capital to go get that guy anymore. So that heaps even more pressure on Tua, whether anybody wants to say it or not.
All right, we still have several teams to cover on the NFL Hope Scale for 2022. We will do that after the daily draft, after the SportsCenter update at the top of the hour. Daily draft today. Jeremy, I'm going to give you first pick because, I mean, I've been picking first for a while now, and it's getting tiring.
That's a weird way to say twice. But, I mean, you beat Caleb Peake once, so that doesn't really have anything to do with me.
Very true. And today we are going to do our daily draft, the fantasy draft from the AFC West.
I also love that you took I'll give you the number 1 pick in the one that I don't want the number 1 pick.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you knew that. That's what disingenuous looks like.
But you don't ever want the number 1 pick.
That's not true. There are divisions where I want it. This is just not one of them.
This ain't one of them. The AFC West daily draft, fantasy teams drafted by me and Jeremy head-to-head. We'll see who comes out on top coming up after the SportsCenter update. We drafted quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and 2 flexes just from within the AFC West. This is the penultimate of the divisional drafts. We will do the NFC West tomorrow, and then we have run through every division in football. Reminder, not that you needed it, we have football tonight. The Hall of Fame game tonight. We'll talk more about that. And the Hope Scale and the Daily Draft coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And most of the rain staying off to our west for tonight. 67 degrees our low. Thunderstorms do catch us in the Friday forecast and for this weekend. And I think our temps will be in the low to mid 80s for late week and through the weekend. Rich humidity in play into next week, and splash and dash thunderstorms for the top of next week, also Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here in the Valley. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slowing between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound stop and go between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound is slow between the Royal Pines area and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road northbound stop and go between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound stop and go approaching Long Shoals Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Some banks can make it complicated to redeem credit card rewards. But with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Right now, Crayola 24-count crayons and 4-ounce Elmer's glue are just 50 cents each. Plus 1-inch binders are only $1.99. In-store only. Offer ends 8/26. Limit 30. Don't send your kids back to school. Send them forward at Staples.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Jason Fitz. The Sportsocracy.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
This is Sports Setup.
I'm Doug Brown. Phoenix Mercury center Brittany Griner is found guilty of drug possession and smuggling today and sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison. This verdict, though, was expected, says ESPN's TJ Quinn.
Even though it is clearly an illegitimate process, they treat it like it's real, and they want the U.S. to treat it like it's real. Now, Brittany Griner, she did that in her defense. She took it seriously, begged for the court's mercy. It didn't work.
TJ Quinn on Bart and Hahn. Negotiations are ongoing between the U.S. and Russia about a possible prisoner swap involving Griner. Former NBA player Iman Shumpert was arrested Saturday for allegedly trying to bring 6 ounces of cannabis through security at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. Shumpert reportedly also had a 14-round magazine in his backpack, but did not have a gun. A federal judge in New York today says she'll rule in weeks on whether NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell will get to decide the merits of racial discrimination claims made by several black coaches against the league and its teams.
If you need last-minute hires in no time, you need Indeed. Their integrated hiring solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, coming to you from the Ingles Studio. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And, of course, you can see us every time that we are live here in the studio on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat each and every day. You can vote on our polls as well. Unfortunately, we did not get the poll up today to decide who won yesterday's NFC East fantasy draft between Jeremy and myself.
The draft kit has been taking copious amounts
and it's completely fine. But see, after I have been winning just back to back to back. Okay, so it was just 2 back.
I was about to say, that's a weird way to say twice.
I am going to give Jeremy the first pick in today's daily draft of the AFC North. Just yesterday, we'll recap real quick what the teams looked like from the NFC East. Jeremy had Jalen Hurts, Antonio Gibson, CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Goedert, Terry McLaurin, Tony Pollard, Devontae Smith. I actually think he won the draft yesterday.
I would agree.
So my team has a lot of questions. Dak Prescott, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Dalton Schultz, Ezekiel Elliott, Miles Sanders, and the last need I needed, Kadarius Toney of the New York Giants. AFC West time. Jeremy, first pick. Give it to us.
Austin Eckler.
Damn it!
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna serendipitously give me the first pick, I'm gonna take the guy you wanted.
Oh man!
But here's the thing: so there are two positions that have two guys that I see not exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're very close. There's not a lot of difference there. The one spot where I look and go, there's a big discrepancy between 1 and 2 is at running back.
Yes, I would agree with that. Wow. Well, that was – I had written down draft day style.
Austin Eckler,
no matter what.
Yeah.
And
well, now the question is, do you strategize the same way I do?
Strategize.
Mm-hmm. Do you strategize the same way I do?
That is a heck of a term.
Correct.
Strategize.
You will never hear that one in a spelling bee, but you should. I'm gonna make it a word.
Really?
Strategize.
All right. Well, look. My first pick is going to be a guy I am very high on this year. He's with his new team. He's with his old quarterback. It's Davante Adams. He is the number one wide receiver in the league, number one wide receiver in this division. Davante Adams is a no-brainer to me.
I agree. I want to see what you do next.
Oh, well.
I mean, I feel like the first two were a given. The question is where you go next.
Well, to keep you from locking me out of running back, I feel like I need to do that because you have been known to do that from time to time.
Because I'm a jerk.
Of course you are. You're not a jerk. You're just a relentless competitor.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? So, I mean, I'm going to build the all Las Vegas Raider team here, I think. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs.
That is not.
Did I forget somebody?
That is not what I thought you were going to do.
Really?
That complicates what I want to do. That greatly complicates what I want to do.
Well, I apologize. No, I don't. What am I saying? Stop that.
I can't fault you for that. I like Josh Jacobs. I feel like he is a guy that gets just notoriously forgotten.
Mm-hmm. But I felt like there was a but.
There was a but
somewhere
because I thought you were going to take Javonte Williams, and I was going to be such a jerk.
I thought about it.
Now the problem is that you've left him, and I don't feel like I could not take him.
So is that your second pick?
No. I haven't said that yet. You know what? There are question marks there. I already have a running back. I'm going to be a jerk. Travis Kelce and Darren Waller.
Oh, he went back-to-back tight ends.
I did, because now you don't get one. Now you get nothing, and you like it.
That's not true. I mean, I still have options.
Albert Okwuegbunam?
Actually, I still have an option. But
Albert
UDFA
Okwuegbunam?
City, here I come. It's not really worth drafting.
No, it's not. That is strategery.
That.
And I hate that
it's just pure damn meanness.
Yeah, because I'm a jerk. That's what I do. Because now there are a couple players that I still want, but I feel like I have eviscerated you at tight end.
Sure. I mean, there's going to be no doubt about that. All right. Well, I was not expecting the back-to-back tight end there.
No.
So,
and I'll be honest with you, that is one of the reasons I wanted to do that. A, because I'm a jerk. B, is that's a strategy that I have used in fantasy football drafts a lot over the years. When there is very little of an asset, having two of them is advantageous. I did this in a draft over the weekend. I took both Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews. Well, there's only 4 premium tight ends, and one of them's George Kittle, who now may be the 2, maybe the 3 in terms of priority in that offense.
Yeah.
So I don't value him as high. And I turned around and traded Mark Andrews for a player that went in the first round. Now, I had to give another player, but always remember that.
Well,
always remember that.
All right.
Take the advantages where you can get them.
So that brings it back to me after the back-to-back tight end picks. I'm going to go with Javonte Williams.
As well you should.
Because I lost out on Austin Eckler, but now I feel like I have the advantage at running back.
You do.
With Josh Jacobs and Javonte Williams. I'm going to take a huge hit on the tight end.
Slaughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're going to go Gerald Everett or Albert Okwuegbunam.
Uh-huh. And then for the AFC West, I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. I'm going to take a quarterback.
Fantastic. It means I don't have to do it. I don't know that you did that correctly.
Okay. Why?
Because there's two quarterbacks here. So one of us was going to get Justin Herbert. One of us was going to get Pat Mahomes. So now I don't have to touch that until late because you can't take two of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? I personally feel like that is a lock it up championship maneuver. And if that teaches you anything, boys and girls, is that being nice doesn't get you anywhere.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going to ask this question just because I'm a little shocked that you took. Do you prioritize Herbert over Mahomes?
Yes.
Why?
Weapons. It's the weapons. I mean, yes, Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he has Juju Smith-Schuster, but to me, that's a question mark at best.
And Mecole and Scott. I'm looking at Kansas City right now going, you have an accumulation of weapons. I almost feel like the hate on Mahomes has gotten a little – it's accelerated to kind of a stupid point. I'm seeing way too many quarterbacks go in front of Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, the only thing he actually lost was Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was never that great of a route runner in the first place. He was a take the top off weapon that allowed everybody else to eat, and every once in a while they hit you over the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that sounds exactly like
who?
Sky Moore. Whoa, he's not a great route runner. Neither was Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Neither was Tyreek Hill. So, I mean, for me, not only did you take a quarterback early, which doesn't make a ton of sense to me, I feel like you took the wrong one.
I think Justin Herbert finishes first when it comes to fantasy football.
In all of fantasy football?
No. I mean, in this division. I think he will surpass Patrick Mahomes, statistically speaking. You know me, I've got high hopes for the Chargers. I
do too.
I love Mike Williams, even though he's not healthy all the time, and Keenan Allen is just unbelievable. And they'll find some other Josh Palmer. You said it's Josh Palmer season.
It is Josh Palmer.
It's not. It's never going to be Josh Palmer season. Stop it.
I'm going to remind you of that when he's been to 7 Pro Bowls, and I can just I tried to tell you.
I do. I have Justin Herbert ahead of Patrick Mahomes, but I mean, it's not like it's not like I hate Patrick Mahomes and he's not going to be good this year.
The difference to me is I feel like Kansas City's going to get in shootouts constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I get a better running game with Herbert, so I'm not sure he's going to be asked to throw it 50 times a game as often as Pat Mahomes would.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you did that solely because it gave me a reason to ask that question. I've seen it happen a multitude of times. And to me, I don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not overwhelmingly discrepant on it, but it has caught me off guard a few times of how much higher Justin Herbert's actually going.
Yeah, I mean, if you're seeing 4 and 5 quarterbacks go before Patrick Mahomes in fantasy drafts, I think that's dumb talk.
All right, I'm going to ask just a theoretical question before we go into the break. Name me the last great fantasy football quarterback that had a great defense.
Ooh, I would say Tom Brady.
It was never great. It stayed around 8. I mean, and that's fine. I'm talking about your 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue that the last time Tom had a great defense, he didn't finish in the top 10. Because that was in New England.
Okay.
You had a great run of a defense in the playoffs. It did not start that way.
Right.
So that's one of the tiebreakers to me. If I'm going to draft a quarterback high, unless it's Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts to a point because they just do a multitude of different things. If they get ahead, now I could see them run more, and they're more dynamic that way. If LA gets ahead, that ball deflates. And as soon as that happens, I like Austin Eckler way more than I like Justin Herbert. So
but it's also the usage of Austin Eckler. I'm still waiting for that to happen. I'm still waiting for Justin Herbert to use Austin Eckler as the number 2 passing option. Because I believe we've been sold that that's what's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And there's a great possibility of it because I think he's probably got the second best hands on that team.
I would agree with that.
Behind Keenan.
I would agree with that. All right. So it's weird. I still found a way to use the break as my own personal thinking time.
Of course you did. You are in the Sportsocracy.
Dirtiest player in the game, baby.
Here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Daily Draft continues in the AFC West next.
Woo! This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 westbound between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays between I-40 and Bavard Road. 40 westbound, slow between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and George's Branch Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, slow. Again, Bavard Road northbound, slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. Hendersonville Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, light delays. Sweeten Creek Road northbound, slow between the Royal Pines area and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
You deserve to feel proud of your smile. August 11th is National Align Your Teeth Day. And to celebrate, Asheville Smiles is hosting an Invisalign Day and offering the best price on Invisalign in North Carolina. Dr. Merrill is a master of the smile makeover. They'll provide you with a simulated 3D scan to show you how you'll look after Invisalign treatment. Now is the best time to save big and get that smile you've always wanted. To schedule your consultation, visit AshevilleSmiles.com today.
At Boot Barn, we believe in heritage, tenacity, and the cowboy way of life. Since 1947, the working cowboy has relied on Wrangler, a heritage brand that's drawn inspiration from the trailblazers of the West, crafting dependable denim for rodeo athletes to ranchers. Starting with their cowboy cut jeans first developed in the 40s, Wrangler creates iconic American denim. For 75 years of the cowboy spirit, Wrangler at Boot Barn.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
I don't know if we're going to get a great call like that tonight when the NFL returns, ladies and gentlemen. It is game day. The Hall of Fame game tonight at 8 o'clock. You'll be able to watch it on NBC. You stream it everywhere on Peacock. It's going to be fantastic. For 10 seconds.
Okay, I'm going to ask a weird question here.
Okay.
How many beverages are you allowed to consume during a preseason game without having a problem?
I would say it's at 13.
Oh, then I'll be fine.
Of course.
Oh, I'll be fine.
I mean, it's football. It's something to celebrate. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know I poo-poo this every time I talk about the Hall of Fame game in preseason, but it's still something to celebrate. I don't think anybody's going to look at you like you have a problem unless you're, a case.
You start shotgunning during a preseason game,
right.
You might need to talk to somebody. Now, I have a nice little watermelon cucumber gin and tonic that I have been, what is that word? Where you mix them together and you leave it and it just mixes.
Oh, it's been like marinating?
It's the same gist, but there's a word for it that somehow slipped out of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a grand old time.
All right, we are in the middle of the daily draft each and every weekday afternoon at 5 o'clock. We do the daily draft, and this is the next to last divisional draft that we're doing. We're drafting fantasy teams from just within each division, and today it's the AFC West. So far, Jeremy sniped me with Austin Eckler at the number 1 overall pick. Then I went Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams with my next 2 picks. Went back to him, and he takes Travis Kelce and Darren Waller in one of the shystiest moves that he's made in these
dirtiest player in the game, baby.
In these divisional drafts. So that leaves me with my last pick going to be a tight end. And then I went Javonte Williams, so I have the distinct advantage, I believe, at running back. And Justin Herbert was my other pick. Now, Jeremy has back-to-back picks, continuing with the daily draft.
I feel as though I should be true to myself.
Okay.
I have always said one of my strategies, because I always play in PPR leagues, is I like for my team, specifically at wide receiver, to be very slotty. So I'm going to go Keenan Allen, Hunter Renfrow back-to-back.
Ooh, I like that.
Fun story. In PPR, where did those two finish last year?
Oh, gosh. 12 for Keenan Allen and 15 for Hunter Renfrow.
You're too low on both.
Really?
Renfrow was 10, Keenan Allen was 11.
Huh. I would not
One
have
spot in
expected.
front of the player that I know full well you're getting ready to take. And you should.
Mike Williams?
Bingo.
Yeah. It was a foregone conclusion.
I knew you were going to take whichever one I didn't.
I had Keenan Allen written down yet again. You sniped me on that one.
You should know that Jeremy is a big fan of his team being very slotty.
Very slotty. So Mike Williams is added to my team, and I only like Keenan Allen minimally better than Mike Williams.
I do too. I mean, secret time, the three of them were 10, 11, and 12 last year.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't bring myself to take two guys on the same team, and I like Keenan Allen just a little bit better.
Okay. All right. And then that brings me to my last pick. I have to fill out the roster before we do the UDFAs. So I'm going to go with a tight end, and it's got to be Big Albert O. Albert Okwuegbunam from the Denver Broncos.
I agree. I mean, to me, that's not even that difficult of a decision.
No.
I know Gerald Everett, that's all well and good, but look back at the Chargers throwing to tight ends over the years, you'll figure out, but Hunter Henry, it wasn't as great as you think it was.
A few years ago, Alberto helped me win a college fantasy league.
College fantasy.
I love college fantasy football.
Oof. That sounds like a lot of time investment that I just don't want to. I don't want to do it.
I mean, if you pay attention to the game, it's very easy.
Yeah, I don't want to do any of that.
Don't want to do
any of that.
I loved him when he was at Missouri, and now I love the fact that he is the number one tight end for the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson's going to get a lot of use out of him, and I even think that there's going to be some value for Greg Dulcich later in the year.
I do like Greg Dulcich a lot.
But I got to give the advantage to Alberto.
All right, that makes my last pick very easy. I will take Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
That's a nice way to round this out.
That is very
good. That is a pretty roster I have.
It is. You got Patrick Mahomes, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfrow. Meanwhile, I have Justin Herbert, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Alberto Coelho. Clearly lost the tight end battle there. Javonte Williams and Mike Williams. And now it's UDFA time. Yesterday, we had our first ever scenario of the UDFA countdown. We count down from 3, both say a name. If it's the same guy, neither of us gets them. And yesterday, we tied on the last need you needed, Kadarius Toney.
So we facilitated a trade.
Yes, because he thought I was going to go with Devontae Smith, but then I just let him have Devontae because I really want the last need we need.
I have a very strange feeling you're not going to say who I want right here.
Possibly. Let's count down 3, 2, 1.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Nice. I went Jerry Jeudy. He goes Juju Smith-Schuster. Why do you like Juju better than Jerry?
A, Jerry Jeudy seems to live hurt. B, with the loss of Tim Patrick. Look, I like Jerry Jeudy. I was 99.9% sure that's who you were going to say.
Mm-hmm.
So it audible me, because to me those three are very close. Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Juju.
Yes.
The difference is I only feel really good about one receiver in Kansas City. The rest of them I kind of feel snipe each other. I don't feel that way about Juju. I think him playing in the slot, 1-year prove-it deal with Pat Mahomes, that just strikes me as you're going to do something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's very underrated how much Pat Mahomes likes guys out of the slot.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll get the graphic up so you can vote there. We'll try to remember the poll tomorrow in the first 2 hours of the program so you guys can decide who gets the first pick in the last divisional fantasy draft that we will be doing here in the Sportsocracy, the NFC West, tomorrow. Next up, don't do crimes.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And most of the rain staying off to our west for tonight. 67 degrees our low. Thunderstorms do catch us in the Friday forecast and for this weekend. And I think our temps will be in the low to mid 80s for late week and through the weekend. Rich humidity in play into next week and splash and dash thunderstorms for the top of next week, also Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here in the Valley. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 westbound between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays between I-40 and Bavard Road. 40 westbound, slow between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and George's Branch Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road, slow. Again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road, light delays. Sweeten Creek Road northbound slow between the Royal Pines area and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching you? There's actually a simple solution. Download the DuckDuckGo app today. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by.
Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville for the most important lesson of the day.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes is right, Jeremy Greene. And let's go to New York for this story. A New York man, 45 years old, now facing charges after he pulled out a gun on a pizza delivery driver. Ralph Carpino III allegedly pointed a weapon at a Domino's pizza delivery driver who showed up to his residence because, of course, I didn't order that pizza, and I guess get off my lawn?
Okay, if somebody shows up with a pizza and is like, I have this pizza, and you can have it, maybe I'm a jerk, but I'm going to go, pizza?
Yeah.
I like pizza.
I mean, unless you live in some sort of a weird compound where you've got everything locked up and the driver had to scale the fence to get over up to your front door to deliver the pizza in a shady kind of a way. Actually, don't ever do that. Don't just pull a gun on somebody, some unsuspecting person.
That's crimes.
Well, here's the roundabout of the story. Carpino said, I didn't order no pizza. Yeah, well, guess what? Somebody else in his family did. They ordered a pizza, apparently did not tell Carpino, and so the delivery driver was at the right house. He was well within his rights to be there, and Carpino, of course, is now facing charges in upstate New York. Police seized his handgun, and he has been charged with menacing and criminal possession of a weapon.
My story comes from Titusville, Florida, because, of course, it does.
Yeah.
They just do things different down there. According to a Florida Highway Patrol report, a semi-truck driver was driving down I-95. Looked out the side window and saw something that was very strange to see on the side of an interstate. A 58-year-old woman driving a golf cart down the interstate.
What, did she get lost?
Well, maybe, but it's more the why she got lost. That is the problem.
Of course.
Police pulled her over, and she was very upset about her bag. Police tried to take the keys out of the golf cart because she tried to drive away. Then they took her bag away, and she was very upset and said she really needed the bag.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you one guess what was in the bag.
Drugs.
No. It was Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire Whiskey. She was hammered driving down the interstate in a golf cart. I can only imagine how this interaction went. Police pull her over, walk up to the side of the golf cart, and she just goes, I was just playing through. There's not a golf course anywhere close to here.
Right.
I swear a ball's up here.
Look, just because you're drunk does not mean if I'm not behind the wheel of a car that I can't get
car.
Right.
Does not have to be a car. I have actually been told the stories of George Jones got a DUI on or on a lawnmower. I have heard tales of people getting DUIs on horses.
Mm-hmm.
If it moves, you can't drive it. Just like, here's my question. First of all, why are you drinking Tennessee Fire? That's like imitation Fireball. Okay, I mean, like, I understand the merits of JD, I really do. But not that good. One. That is heartburn.
Cinnamon Jack Daniels is
not
good.
That's just heartburn waiting to happen.
I mean, there are certain flavored whiskeys that I like.
Well,
I mean, like Crown Royal. Crown Royal makes an amazing apple flavor.
I was about to say the apple is just divine.
There's also another one. I can't remember the name of the company, but there's a peach whiskey that's really, really good.
Crown makes one of those as well.
Yeah, it wasn't Crown. It's like I think it's like Wolf Creek or something like that. It's very, very good.
I'm just still stuck on. I need my bag. What's in the bag? Nothing.
Pretty sure when you say that to cops, they're gonna be like, "Okay, now I need to know what's in the bag."
So what's in the bag?
It is the Sportsocracy, and as always, don't do crimes. We continue here with the rest of our teams in the NFL. What is your team? Where does your team fall on the hope scale for the 2022 NFL season? Let's go with my 2022 Super Bowl champion, Baltimore Ravens.
5.
Of course it is.
It's 5. Look, they're just looking at this team going, stay healthy. That's all we need.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that can really impede this team is a lack of health, which is what got you last year. And I'll be honest with you, as you look down the roster, they're too deep everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They do not have a weakness. I've also been told that Patrick McCarry is the first call that your Tampa Bay Buccaneers made when Ryan Jensen went down. Like, hey, you remember when you took that center in the first round? We know you want to play him.
Mm-hmm.
So, come on. Let's talk.
Right.
That Baltimore team is phenomenal.
I think they have it at every position. Not saying that they're number one in the league at every position group, but obviously wide receiver is lacking. But with a team,
but it always has been.
Yeah, but and I was going to say, with a team that's so run centric, I'm not really that worried about it.
No, and they've got several receivers that block well down the field. I just don't care. I think they're going to add somebody. I don't know who it is. Once I said Darius Slayton the other day, now I can't get that out of my head. I would be over the moon for that.
All right, from the Baltimore Ravens, let's go to another contender. I think this is another 5. The Green Bay Packers.
4. The Romeo Dubs hype train, which I feel like I, at the very least...
Are you now conducting?
Oh, I mean, I've been conducting it. Go to any fantasy website and just scroll through the first 5 articles. Romeo Dubs' name is there. I genuinely feel like that's the one fear, but the defense is so good. So good. By the way, just since we are fantasy football guys, stop treating Aaron Jones like he died. He didn't.
Mm-mm.
You want to hear a fun story about the Green Bay Packers rushing attack last year?
Yeah.
Who led them in carries?
Was it Aaron Jones?
It was A.J. Dillon.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter. It's never mattered. I see him fall like a rock, and every single time I'm like, okay.
Mine. Yep.
I'll do it.
Let's go over to the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks. 1.
I wanted to say negative, but it's a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that's solely because of Pete. I mean, you can't be this bad at quarterback. And one of our wonderful members of the House of Reprehensibles and a Seattle Seahawk fan, Eric Miller, super chatted earlier. Before you get to the Seahawks, we should be a 2 for hope that we don't screw it up and not get a top 3 pick. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you can. Now, you also have to understand, this is hope for this year. This does not take into account your draft position and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is for this season. And there's not much there.
No, there's not. I don't think there's anybody with a, what do you like to say, an IQ above salad dressing that believes that the Seattle Seahawks are an actual threat to do anything this year other than contend for the number one
this
pick.
is the season where you want to be bad. I mean, you want to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know we have at least 2 Seahawk fans that watch on a daily basis. Either one of you, chime in. How many games do you want to see this team win? And
0.
why is it 2?
I was going to say 0. Let's win 0 games, and let's have our choice of the generational quarterbacks in this next draft. There's 2 at the top, and it's Bryce and CJ. And I don't think I don't think either way you go, you can really do it all that wrong.
I would agree with that. I mean, for the future, yeah, you've got hope because you've got extra draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
For this year, there's not a lot to be excited about.
Let's head over to the AFC West. Talk about the Denver Broncos.
It's 4.
Is it that high?
It's a 4.
I mean, I get Russell Wilson.
It was a 5 before guys started getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you have 2 or more injuries in the same day, it brings it down a peg because you start worrying, oh, God, are we going to be the team this year?
Again.
Are we the team this year that just everybody gets hurt? And I do feel like that has mitigated some of it. They love Russ.
Mm-hmm.
They're just looking at this going, this is the first time we've had a legitimate quarterback in forever.
Yes, the hope should be high for the Denver Broncos. But I thought that would be a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
I mean, there's still holes. You still got a first-year head coach. I don't think even the most ardent Denver Bronco fans going, we're going to win this division. No, you're not. And that, to me, you have to have that belief, or you had to be just grisly awful and now have hope for the future with a slew of young guys, which this team does not really have. They have young guys, and several that I think are very high in their position group. But I can't give you a 5 because you know in large part where you fall in the division.
Minnesota Vikings.
3. And the fear all rides with the defense.
Mm-hmm.
That is where all of the terrified is. I would have felt better, and this is just me personally. This is not what I have heard, if you had brought back Anthony Barr.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's a high-level player. He's so multiple that he could have cured some ills, and now him going to the Dallas Cowboys, that's not a great.
Do those closest to the organization, in your perception, believe that they are within striking distance of the Green Bay Packers this year?
Because they think the offense is insane. I agree with them.
With Kevin O'Connell leading this team, I think
you got to realize how good this offense was, and you had the original Mike Zimmer, who's, I mean, if you're looking for a wingman, A1 since day one. In terms of scoring points, Rich Kotite called, you're the same guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I think that's where a lot of the hope comes from, is how much worse could we be coached than we were under Mike Zimmer? And having a young guy that fell off the McVay tree, you're going to have a 2.5 just solely because you hired somebody that had lunch with Sean McVay once.
All right, the hope scale, where do the Washington Commanders fall in?
I think this number is going to surprise you. It's a 3.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's a 3.
If it was any higher, that would surprise me.
I don't know. I feel like Washington's the team that everybody's sleeping on.
Mm-hmm.
They're just looking at them and going, they're so stuck into what they saw last year, and they're not taking the gravity of the situation.
Because this wasn't a good team last year. And
no, but they were still a headache.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people are undervaluing the difference between Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke. Look, I understand that it has not been a great few years for Carson Wentz. He is light years better than Taylor Heineke.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that defense is going to be, I'm not going to say it's back to where it was a few years ago. They're never going to live up to where we built this because they had put so many first-round picks on this defense. I have a belief it will be much better.
Yeah, people don't think that Carson Wentz can play at a high level or an MVP level in this league. And he was an MVP level last year with the Indianapolis Colts.
No, but he was better than you think with no weapons.
Right.
He had Michael Pittman and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Receiving weapons. I know he had Jonathan Taylor. I get it.
Right. Expecting a lot from the Washington Commanders this year. At least many people are. I don't know that I am, but it should be better than what it was.
I have lofty hopes.
Speaking of hope, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs.
I can't go above 3.
It's that bad?
I can't go above a 3. The defense scares the heebie-jeebies out of people. You lose Tyrann Mathieu, it's just nobody seems to be valuing this for what it is. You overpaid Justin Reed because you didn't want to pay Tyrann Mathieu. Then he inks a deal in New Orleans where you go, wait, that's what it took?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we should have just done that. And there are holes. This is, and look, we talk about this with Dallas all the time. When you sign the quarterback to that gigantic deal, you're going to start losing pieces. The difference between Dallas and Kansas City makes the deal with Miami on Tyreek Hill. They add the young players. They add the draft picks. There's hope that this team will stay competitive for the future. The problem in Kansas City is they're looking around the division going, every team in this division got better, and we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
We are the only team in this division that got worse. Now, we were ahead of everybody to begin with. The question is, where do we fall in with the rest of them? I'm not saying they're ready to, we're going to go 4-13. Nobody's that stupid. But there is a fear that we've been passed by the Chargers, the Raiders are knocking on the door, and the Broncos are not far behind them.
The last one for this segment that we'll talk about, give me the Cleveland Browns. Because I think we went from incomplete to high hopes, and it's back to incomplete again.
It's incomplete. It all depends on what the arbiter says.
Giant question mark because we don't know who the quarterback's going to be.
They were a 5 when this came out at 6.
Mm-hmm.
And when everybody around the world was saying, they're not going to appeal this, it was a 5.
Mm-hmm.
And it should have been. Now they're the only team in the league. You have no idea what you're looking at. I mean, if you're telling me I'm going to have 17 games of Jacoby Brissett, okay, I'll see you in 23.
Right.
Because we're irrelevant in this conference with that. You just can't go through the second half of that schedule that way.
You can't keep up. You can't keep up with the firepower of the AFC if you have Jacoby Brissett. You give me Deshaun Watson, now we can talk.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to say this as clearly as I can and take out what Deshaun Watson did. Just look at from the team level. The longer this goes on, the more angry I would be if I was a Cleveland Browns fan. You are just completely hijacking us with how ridiculously long this is taking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to say, we're a week into camp now. This team doesn't even legitimately know what the offense is going to look like because you have no idea who's playing quarterback. To me, I would be rather angry about that.
Again, news today out of the NFL is that Roger Goodell has decided who the appeal is going to go before in the Deshaun Watson case. Former New Jersey Attorney General Peter C. Harvey, who actually helped the league draft the personal conduct policy or the player conduct policy, and he was also a big part in the suspension of Ezekiel Elliott back in 2017. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We will get the rest of the NFL teams coming up next in the Hope Scale.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Lane delays, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue, 26 westbound, very busy between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows approaching Bavard Road to the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound slows between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. 40 eastbound near Newfound Road, expect heavy delays near Canton. An accident, the left lane closed. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. And Bavard Road north and southbound, stop and go between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
September 23rd and 24th.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Stream it free on the CW app and CWTV.com. And get ready to win your way there starting Monday.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival is connecting all of us.
Capital One is a proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Festival for the 6th year in a row, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Wendy's new Strawberry Frosty is here, so check your watch. Is it Frosty time yet? It probably is. The hour hand would be on, I'm feeling snacky. And the minute hand would be on, relaxing with a rich, creamy Strawberry Frosty on a summer day, just digging into that smooth, chilly deliciousness and vibing. You know, depending on what kind of watch you have. When it's time for Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Frosty and Classic Chocolate or New Strawberry.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
It's Macy's One Day Sale with great deals of the day, just in time for back to school. Like 30 to 50% off backpacks, handbags, and more. And 40 to 50% off jeans they'll love. And get 60% off luggage from Travel Pro, Samsonite, Delsey, and more at Macy's One Day Sale. Plus, Star Rewards members earn rewards even faster during Macy's Star Money Bonus Days, starting tomorrow.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
You are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Back here in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, is the Sportsocracy. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get in on the chat. And you can also super chat. You can donate to the Sportsocracy, and we will highlight your super chat. And this one comes from Jason Trump, from everyone at the House of Reprehensibles, which you can join by subscribing to the channel and then, of course, paying a small monthly fee to be a part of the House of Reprehensibles. Happy birthday, Sophia. Yes, indeed. Happy birthday, Sophia.
Indeed.
We continue with the NFL Hope Scale for the 2022 NFL season. We got 5 teams left. Hit us with the Hope Scale for the Arizona Cardinals, Jeremy Greene.
1.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
I disagree.
They know.
They know this is bad.
They know exactly where this is. They're looking around going between – we went all in on DeAndre Hopkins, going to get Marquise Hollywood Brown. The contractual thing with Kyler Murray scares you, and I don't think they've done anything that makes you feel any better. Just how poorly that was handled, you start to feel same old Cardinals. The Cardinals fall into a lot of the same streams as my Jets of I've seen this before. This is just the same story with a different cast of characters. And that is exactly where everybody I've talked to, that's how they feel. Is, yeah, are we more talented? Yes. Do we have any belief that's going to mean anything? No.
Wow. It would have been a 4 last year.
Easily, yeah.
And now, what one offseason can do for a team. Speaking of, how about those Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, last year this would have been a 1. Now, it's a 5.
A.J. Brown comes over in the offseason. You got Jalen Hurts, who turned out to be a decent quarterback last year. Much better than I thought he would be.
He's a fine game manager quarterback that's more mobile than you think. He's a good leader, and people like him. That defense is terrifying with Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis in the middle. That is the pairing that everybody in Philadelphia mentions. You're not going to be able to run on us, and we are going to run it down your throat. Stop forgetting Miles Sanders exists, by the way.
Yes.
I'm really tired of taking him, so somebody, if we're in fantasy drafts together, if somebody could take him so I don't have to, that'd be great.
The Indianapolis Colts.
It's 4. Good mixture of young, good mixture of vet. You can't be a 5 because you just don't have that guy. They don't feel in large part the way about Michael Pittman that I do. That I do think he's a 1. I think he's a no doubt 1.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is that you're going to have somebody to take some of the heat off of him, and they have nothing. Outside of Jonathan Taylor, they have no weapon that makes you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Defense, grossly underrated. I mean, pitifully, pathetically underrated. That's a top 6 defense in this league.
Okay.
And it is nobody recognizes it that way.
All right, yes, here we're finally getting to it, Havoc. He's been waiting with bated breath for 2 hours now.
Great patience. Big fan of that.
The Tennessee Titans, the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs last year.
You feel like I said a 4 on the Colts. I have to say a lower number on the Tennessee Titans.
No.
I'm not.
I don't feel that
They're
way.
a 4 too.
I would agree.
And I'll tell you what I hear out of Nashville. We have been really disrespected. And now we're almost like an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
So anything we do, there's no pressure on us. Losing A.J. Brown, the difference between A.J. Brown and Treylon Burks, not nearly as drastic as people think. For that role, he fits it perfectly. And I just feel like there is this misnomer that now you were the one and it didn't work out in the playoffs. Well, I mean, you got beat by the team that went to the Super Bowl, so that's really not a failure. But the expectations are so much lower around the league, not in Nashville. They still think they're the best team in this division, and I'll be honest with you, I can't fault you on that. That's another team. The defense is way better than it's given credit for. Think about how much instability there was in that secondary last year. It almost can physically not be that bad again. All right, so now if I can actually man up, defend you, that's a scary team.
Mm-hmm. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to go ahead and do this. My 2024 Super Bowl champion, Los Angeles Chargers. I'm not saying it's going to be this year. I'm not saying it's going to be next year. The next year. You just watch out.
That's almost as fortuitous as my 2027 Super Bowl champion, New York Jets. It's 5. It's a 5. I mean, they just look around and go, this team is
loaded,
stacked.
Mm-hmm.
We are not – they don't have a weakness anywhere. Oh, maybe we wish we had another linebacker. Who cares? This team is terrifying, and they know it.
Yep. We've got one of the best pass rushes in the league. We've got one of the best secondaries in the league. We have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, best running backs. The wide receiver core is awesome. Yeah, they got it all.
And so you said there is Super Bowl champion 2 years from now? That's not how they feel. This Super Bowl or bust. That's how they feel.
Wow, okay.
They fully believe they are the best team in the league, and they really don't think it's all that close. We are more talented at every position than every team in the league.
Yes.
And we have a young quarterback that still has steps to take. We have weapons. They love Josh Palmer. They love Josh Palmer. You keep calling me a wackadoodle, saying I have tinfoil on my head.
Do they also love Donald Parham?
No, that's a me thing.
Oh, okay.
That's a me thing.
Just wanted to clear that up.
Very talented team. They're 5.
All right. There it is. Your hope scale score for each and every team in the NFL. Folks, we're just hours away from the kickoff of the 2022 season.
Preseason starts tonight, but we are just 35 days away from the kickoff of the regular season.
Tonight at 8 o'clock, enjoy the first game. The action in Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame game, Jacksonville Jaguars against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Tonight, while you're watching the game, if you want to send fantasy questions, football questions, whatever the case may be, I will be on Twitter all night, and my lovely wife she's a little ill, so she will not be watching this game with me. So if you have football questions, feel free to send those to me on Twitter at ESPN Draft Nerd.
You can go ahead and set your alarm now. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon right here in the Ingles Studio for the Friday edition of the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And most of the rain staying off to our west for tonight. 67 degrees our low. Thunderstorms do catch us in the Friday forecast and for this weekend. And I think our temps will be in the low to mid 80s for late week and through the weekend. Rich humidity in play into next week, and splash and dash thunderstorms for the top of next week, also Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here in the Valley. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows between the French Broad River and Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. 40 eastbound near Canton and Newfound Road. An accident left lane closed. 40 westbound at Newfound Road, seeing some onlooker delay. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road, moving from Sand Hill Road to Bavard Road, heavy delays. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Bavard Road north and southbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, heavy delays. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lee Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Panera. They say to never mess with the classics, but Panera did that and more with their new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Pan-seared chicken, a secret garlic aioli recipe, Parmesan crisps, and pickled chips all on a buttery brioche roll. Try one for only a $1 delivery fee when you order on their app. Restrictions apply.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville WPEK.